Good morning, everyone. Welcome along to your morning rabble on Monday, the 6th of April. I'm the host, Brian, today. Martin is on family duties, so I'm here today. And obviously, it's been a weekend. It's kind of went for us, I think. Us winning on the Saturday, Hearts drawing on the Sunday, helped us get that edge that bit closer, point behind Hearts now. So it's going to be interesting now, isn't it? We've got a lot of variables coming up. We've got the split fixtures going to be announced after the round of games next week. So it's going to be very, very interesting, and lots of twists and turns. I don't think this is going to be by any means sorted. I do believe, I've said for a while now, that I think all three teams are going to drop points at some shape, way, or form. But we shall see what happens in the future. But first up, we have Jason that's jumped in. Jason, how are you?
Buenos dias, mon amigos.
I was waiting to say your Spanish should be absolutely sharp now we've been away.
I got back yesterday morning at 6 o'clock due to a flight delay with Ryanair, so absolutely shattered, trying to catch up with things. It was good to see us winning Saturday, go and see us back to where we belong. Happy league.
Yeah. Although it was only for 24 hours, but it was nice while it lasted, wasn't it?
No, but again, it's a psychological impact of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was needed because teams, as you and Will said last night, we've always shat the bed when it came to this kind of point where we've had to win something, and it was good for us not to do that.
Oh, absolutely, it was. I mean, there's a few people sort of worried about Dundee United at home, weren't there? There was a few folks saying, "Well, this will be tough," and Dundee United are going to be sticky. But I mean, apart from their it got a little bit edgy at times. But were you ever worried?
When I seen it was 3-1, then it went to 3-2. I started to panic.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're travelling along, you've not got the greatest internet signal. That wasn't I got to Alicante Airport that I finally found that we'd won 4-2, and I was like that with relief.
Absolutely. I mean, at the end of the day, they did the job that was required, didn't they? They put they sort of threw the gauntlet down, didn't they? They did their business on the Saturday, and then obviously Hearts and Celtic were playing on the Sunday. But it's roles reversed next week, Jason, isn't it? It's the other way around. We're going to be catching up on the Sunday next week.
But again, I'm hoping now that's the psychology. They've got that psyche to bottle on it now. They know they can go and do it. You know what I mean? And look, I watched the highlights of the game last night as well. Again, Suter caught out with that long boy at the top. Mm-hmm. Danny's got to, he can't play him in this one, and he's got to play Manny.
Yeah, I think we said that yesterday as well, didn't we? That it's got to be Fernandes and De Giga in the centre defence for the foreseeable future. I think the stats showed yesterday that when Fixture plays, the defence concede far more goals than they do with De Giga and Fernandes. And I mean, let's think about it, Jason. Fernandes and De Giga at some points this season we have thought have been either surplus to requirements or just not good enough. And now they've actually formed a really good partnership, and they're looking really good, aren't they?
That's right. And again, up to, I would say, maybe mid-November, we thought our best backline was Suter and Cornelius. And boy, were we wrong, because when Cornelius got injured, we had to bring Manny in. When Suter got injured, we had to bring De Giga in after the AFCON. And we were all kind of thinking, here we go again. And it seemed to have, they two have formed that partnership. We've shown how solid we are at the back with them. I don't know why he done that on Saturday. As I said, because I've been away, I don't know what's been happening. I'm just still trying to catch up with things. But there's a, as you said there, Brian, we looked at they two and went, We bought Fernandes, but it was untested. The Giga was having nightmares every time we played him. We didn't want him there. But come January, they two have formed that bond. They've got the job done. That's all we can ask.
Absolutely. And was it nice to see the likes of Nadiri get a goal, Asgard get a goal? Guys that have, certainly Asgard, he's been sort of, not lambasted, but he's been certainly called into question some of his performances. So, somebody, I think Wolf suggested yesterday that, is it a case of that he actually only likes to play at Ibrox? And that's, you can't have that, can you?
No, and I got asked that last night. Who would I keep? And I was my wife threw a couple of names at me because we watched the Mikey Moore that film they done for Spurs.
Yes.
And I said, well, I think Asgard surplus the requirements. I'd keep the rest, but Asgard can go. Yeah, granted he scored, and he's only scored at Ibrox and performed at Ibrox. But we need a player that can do it consistently, every ground.
I mean, I think obviously I'd assume most people watch that interview from Mikey Moore by now. I think as the Spurs podcaster said at the start of the season that I did with him, Spurs have got no intention. They're well, and as far as Mikey Moore is concerned, he is going back to Spurs to go into their first team, isn't he? And that's what exactly the Spurs podcaster said at the start of the season. It's like a year loan, and that is it. And their intentions to play next season.
But I think because Mikey's come in and he's settled, he's really settled in.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Spurs might want him to stay, but it's down to Mikey what he wants to do. And if you've got a settled player in a certain league, surely he's got to let his heart rule his head, so to speak. Because I think his heart's in Glasgow.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, at the end of the day, he's got a fairly long contract at Spurs, I believe, hasn't he? So he's kind of not stuck, but he's committed to them, and I think as I say, I've always said or thought that this was a year loan thing, and that was it. I didn't think it was going to be anything more. I think we were lucky to get him for the year that we did, because I think there was a lot of teams interested in him at the start of the season. So I think we've just got to enjoy him for the remainder while we've got him.
That's that, and again, it's the old adage: you never fall in love with a lone player, but we do. And especially this season, we've not had players that we could actually put our hand in hearts and say, yep, he's been great for us. Mikey Moore's come in, he's done the job. He's like, I'm not saying he's like Giga, but again, he turned that coin early doors with Danny. And he improved the team. And when the team improved, the fans improved. So again, it's all been positives progressively.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to throw a curveball into this mix this morning. I'm going to really maybe upset the apple cart.
Come
We're
on.
talking about
already, Jace.
The post, the split this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Usually come this time of the season, the league champions have been decided, the relegation's been decided, and the playoff places there or thereabouts. Why do we need the split this year? Because we've still got 3 teams in contention for the league title.
Well, I mean,
controversially, you could still run, then you've still got potentially a cliffhanger all the way up to the end of the year, end of season. It's not between 2 teams, it's between 3 teams. And maybe this is why the split fixtures haven't come out, is maybe the SFA are thinking of something along that, because there's usually there'd be dead rubber games, but there's no.
No. I mean, I think recent events at Ibrox will be certainly spooking the authorities, in the sense that they're wanting to keep things as calm as possible, get all the difficult games out of the way. I mean, I've said for a long time that it's going to be Hibs at home, Celtic away, Hearts away, Falkirk at home, Motherwell away. I don't know why I've got that in my head, that's going to be our split fixtures. I've just got something in my head that's the way it's going to pan out. I think they'll want the Hearts and the Celtic games out of the way pretty quickly.
Aye.
Because they don't want any sort of incidents that happened at Ibrox again.
Aye, well, my split fixtures were Hearts away,
Mm-hmm.
Motherwell at home, Celtic away, Hibs at home, and Falkirk away. Last game of the season. I thought they'll try and give us the 3 toughest fixtures at the very start of this split to try and stop us from winning it.
Mm.
And I've had that in my head for a while.
There's a lot of permutations in there. I think the only ones that we certainly know of is Celtic away and Hearts away. I think that there's no debate about that ones. They're fixed, they're locked in. So it's a case of where they put us away. So it's Hibs, Motherwell, or Falkirk away. One of them.
Oh, home. I'll be.
No, we'll have one of them away and 2 of them.
Sorry, brain's still a wee bit sluggish. Aye, I agree with you there, aye. But it was just something I was thinking about last night. This is usually, come this end of the season, the League Championship is decided. The top and the bottom, the team's usually relegated, and the rest of the games are dead rubbers. This season, this is going to go down to the wire.
Mm-hmm.
We're all predicting it's going to go down to the wire. And why have a split this season?
Well, I suppose the split was there at the start of the season, wasn't it? So you've kind of got to see it through, haven't you?
But we all know what the SFA like to throw curveballs at us.
I mean, the goal difference now is Hearts are plus 28, we're plus 32, Celtic are plus 23. So, it is in our favour in that respect. So, we've done tremendously well to get that back on track.
Oh, aye, and again, Wolf, what you and Wolf mentioned that last night was, yep, we were dead as a duck. We were dead as the dodo in October. Come that last time we went to Falkirk, we were dead. We were all right in half our chances. To come from where we've came to shows progression.
Mm-hmm.
Some folk would say that's a success. I agree with Wolf. When we hold up shiny things, that is a success. But I think this season, to where we've actually came from, with the previous loonies in charge, shall we say, we have come through the pack, and again, is the writing on the wall for us? I just hope it is.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we've got the 2 toughest fixtures away from home, which is slightly unfortunate, isn't it? You like one of them at home, but unfortunately this season it's just landed the way it has. We've just got to go with it, haven't we?
Aye, but really, I don't fear Hearts or Celtic away. I really don't, because the players know what they've got to do.
Yeah.
It's Hibs and Motherwell and Falkirk that seem to give me more fear. Honestly, because I don't want us to get into this split thinking, yep, it's yours, and we've done it when we won 9 in a row. We had to go to Firth Park and win, and we absolutely bottled it at Firth Park. Oh, sorry, it was at Ibrox. We bottled it then, and then we had to go to Dundee United and win 9 in a row. Yeah. Again, I don't want the players to think about that, but it would just be nice to. It would actually be nice to win it at Parkhead again. We've not done that for a while. Just to
Jason, just to sort of burst your bubble there, that is certainly not going to happen.
Oh no, if Carrollsburg done weekends, that'd be the ideal weekend, but they don't.
No, absolutely not. Well, thank you for your call, Jace. Nice to have you back, and
no bother.
I hope you've got a nice tan.
Oh, I've got a beautiful tan. You know what I mean? I've got that much of a tan that there's only certain bits of my body that are white, and I've got more bites on everywhere as well.
Just calm down, Jason. It's only 10 in the morning. Anyway, nice hearing from you again, Jace.
No more, Brian. Catch you later.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. So, hey, folks, it's that easy. It is that easy. And we've got Christopher that jumped in second. Christopher, how are you?
You very good yourself?
Yeah, not bad. So were you not one of the ones that were kind of worried about Dundee United?
Yeah, I was. Just knowing our past history of these kind of games. you judge by past actions, and when it went 2-1, I was like, oh no, don't tell me this is happening again. But it was a good weekend. We almost got an even better weekend when Dundee got the draw, but sadly they couldn't hang on. But yes, I think we're in a good place. But see, if you look at the form guide for the last 4, 6, 8, and 10 games, what that tells you is we're top of the form guide for all those games. Now, if we could stick that for the next 6 games, we win the league. It's as simple as that. And what the form guide's also showing us, Hearts, this might be famous last words here, are starting to buckle a wee bit. They're starting to.
Well, their very own sort of fanboy Ewan Cameron has been very sort of vocal on X, hasn't he? He's been saying that we've enjoyed saying in X that they're going to fold in September or November, or we've been saying it all season. But I mean, at the end of the day, when Danny Rowe came in November, we were 13 points, away from Hearts. It's now 1 point. We've reeled that in somehow. We've done tremendous. I think Hearts away form is going to be maybe their problem. They seem to. That's last 4 away games. They drew yesterday and they lost the 3 previous. So that's something that at least you would like to think, as you say, the form guide showing that we're slightly improving in that department.
Yeah, we've got a consistency about us, which is good. Danny's only lost one game since he came in, and I think the job that he's done has been brilliant. I think this is a bit different from Clement's time because we're sticking in there. We just keep sticking in there. We're no disappearing. We're sticking in and we're sticking into the race. And I think if we are going to drop points, we've got to keep it in our own hands. We don't want to be going down to the last 2 games, needing a draw here and somebody to beat somebody elsewhere. We need to keep this in our hands, and if we can do that, hopefully we'll be lifting the trophy come the end of the season. However, Mr. Suter plays for the next 6 games, the only thing we'll be lifting is. I have no idea what we'll be lifting, but it won't be the league title anyway. No, he's a bomb scare. He's a bomb scare, and he's just going to drag Giga and Fernandes with him, sadly. But see, in terms of Olsen's getting quite. I mean, yes, his performances haven't been great, but he is contributing in terms of he's got 4 goal contributions in 8, which is 4 goal contributions in 497 minutes. So that's like a goal contribution every 100 and odd minutes. Mm-hmm. Now you compare that to Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore's getting assists every 900 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Olsen's assists, I think, is at 120 minutes.
Something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. So he is contributing in terms of assists and things like that, but his performances just aren't good enough. But I think also too much pressure's been put on him, because when he got signed, I've seen people saying Brian Laudrup and all that's like it's just steady on, just steady on. But that's probably in a way he doesn't look the most confident playing. He looks to me he's a confidence player. Maybe needs an arm round the shoulder, and he maybe needs a wee bit of love. Then hopefully. It can flourish, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, as far as Olsen's concerned, I think it's purely just the optics of what you're seeing is what folk are making their minds up, isn't it? He's not really taken on. I don't think he's the type of player that he's not. I don't think he's blessed with speed. I think he's got lots of trickery and stuff like that, but I just don't think he's got that speed to get past players. And of course, Mikey Moore on the eye looks very, very good, doesn't he? So it's just, I think it's just how people are perceiving things, the way that they're with the way that their eyes see things, whereas the stats say otherwise, that he's not far from Mikey Moore's stats, but it's the optics, isn't it?
Yeah, I think stats can be misleading. I think all kind of stats you can spin them. I've spun them quite favourably in terms of Olsen, somebody else could come on and spin it the other way. That's how stats work. Even these managerial stats, Danny Rowe had a worse win percentage than Russell Martin. Look how that's turned out. Completely different to managers. So stats can be dished out anyway, but I'm just hoping it comes through for us the next few games. But at this point, £9 million, we could get 2 free players potentially for that could come in and contribute for that. So I would be keeping, even if he does come through for us and absolutely knocks the ball at the ballpark, I still wouldn't be paying £9 million for him, considering what we've seen.
Yeah, it's a chunky price, isn't it? It's we didn't think twice of paying that sort of money for Tremaine, though, did we?
Yeah, that's the thing, and I think this is probably one thing Andrew Carver has probably learned since he came in. Is I think at the start of the season he's maybe had his pants pulled down a wee bit by clubs, and he's maybe been hanged. And the 2 people that he had, I'll not mention names because I know they don't go down well in the chat, so I'll leave their names anonymous. Having them 2 there, I don't think was helping. I think they've maybe done a couple of bad deals, but I don't think we'll get hanged like that again. I don't think we'll get mugged off like that again. And I think see, when we're purchasing a player, we've got to make sure we're getting them at the right price and at our price. And I think that's something maybe going forward that we'll get more of in terms of where before we were just, for example, just dishing players out for nothing. We were just paying silly money, £6 million for Daniil. I think that will stop under these guys. And I think we'll get into a more sensible structure on how to do business. But it's just getting to that point and seeing where the season takes us. But I'm confident, but not overconfident.
You're doing a wee bit of a U-turn, are you?
Yeah, I'm confident and not confident in a lot of ways because I've been round long enough. I've seen this movie before where you get a wee bit of confidence, and lo and behold, the twist and turn that you didn't expect, the heel turn you never expected happens. Then you get beat or you draw, and you're like, oh dear. So I'm not putting myself through that again. I'm just going to plod along.
Yeah.
Where do you think it would lie if Danny does pull this off? In terms of, do you think we would struggle to keep him?
No, I think we'd keep Danny Rowe. I think Danny Rowe would want a crack at the Champions League. I think he'd want a shot at that. I think he would, if he got to manage in the Champions League and did reasonably well in that, then teams will look at him and go, right, he can do it at that level. So I think we could keep him even if we win the league, in the sense that he'll want European football under his CV. Like Champions League, that's the pinnacle for players and managers, isn't it? They all want that Champions League experience. So I think he's waiting or hoping that if we win this league, that he'll get that Champions League, that the chance to manage in the Champions League, should I say, and sort of test himself in that sort of arena. At the end of the day, well, the other good thing that happened yesterday was AEK Athens won at Olympiacos away, so that's done us a turn. But as the old adage goes, it's all right, somebody doing a turn for us, but we've got to do the job ourselves, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got to look after ourselves and mind our own business and just do our side of the business, then worry about everybody else. Because I think once you start worrying about everybody else, you start to take your eye off the ball a bit, and we know that can lead. But in terms of that, I think Danny, the only worry is if a Leipzig or that come for him. I think that's the worry, because they can do that. But I think one thing with Danny is I think we've got a manager on the way up, on the manager escalator up. We've not got a manager that's been sacked out of job or it's got baggage, and that's one of the reasons I didn't want Gerrard back due to his time at Villa. Then due to his time at LA Etihad, I just wasn't wanting Gerrard back because I felt he was going down the way.
Mm-hmm.
For me, he needs to go somewhere else, like what Lampard's done, and rebuild his reputation a bit. But yeah, I'm very happy with Danny, and we'll see where the season takes us. But next week's going to be crucial for Hearts, I think, because I don't know if Hearts were to get beat or draw, where that would maybe knock them out of it, considering the way their forms went.
Yeah, they've got Motherwell at home, I believe. Celtic have got St Mirren at home, and we're away to Falkirk, I think, if my memory serves me right, Chris.
You are correct, yeah, we've got Falkirk.
I mean, Cassie's point here, Rolls a young enough manager. He doesn't have to rush his career. I think that's spot on as well. He's in the position where he's young enough. At the end of the day, if he gets the job done with us, I think opportunities will obviously come. Villa came in for Steven Gerrard. So I don't think Danny Rolls in any rush in the sense that he has to do this or he has to do that this season. I think, as I said yesterday, I think, because somebody asked if we finish second, is it a success? And I says, no, it's not success, it's progression. I'm certainly not going to label it success, but it's certainly progression in the sense that we're at least back in sort of title fights. We're back in sort of trying to win leagues. We haven't been like that for a long time. So I think the only way I would describe it is we're making progression in the right direction.
Yeah, I think we're also on the pitch, we're making progression, but I think off the pitch we'll also make progression as well, in terms of we'll not get mugged off anymore, which we were getting for a number of years. We were getting mugged off. Some of the bizarre decision making, and it was getting like that trip to Australia that we were meant to be doing, just bizarre things like that. And I think we'll run a wee bit more professional now, and hopefully that brings results on the pitch. And I think it's so underrated to have a good owner. I think a good owner, if you've got a good owner at the top, and I think that feeds right down to the bottom of the club, right down from the players into the staff, into the groundsmen, that just feeds right down. And if you can get results alongside that just breeds positivity. And hopefully that then brings trophies on the back of it as well.
Absolutely. So are we too early in the week to ask for a prediction for Falkirk?
Falkirk, yeah, I'll give you a prediction. I'll put myself out there. I think it'll be 2-1, and I don't think it'll be a classic. And I think I can see the comments a week ahead moaning about the performance. So I think it'll probably be one of them where the performance isn't great, but we just get it. We just get it done.
Yeah, I think it'll be a status quo, as in I think all teams are going to win, like Celtic, Hearts, and I think we're all going to win at the weekend. So I think we'll be a point behind going into the split.
Who do you want first, out of Hearts or Celtic? If you had to get one of them at the start of the split games, who would you take first?
That's a good question. Now, who would I take first? To be honest, it wouldn't bother me. We've got to play them, so I would like to get Celtic first and just get them out of the way.
Yeah, I've got a suspicion that we're going to get Celtic and Hearts bunched together at the start.
Yeah. Well, I've said, I believe, I think I just said it earlier, didn't I? I've said Hibs first at home, Celtic away, Hearts away, Falkirk at home, Motherwell away.
Yeah, see where it goes, see how it goes. But we're going to play everybody. But hopefully, when they play each other, they take each other out. Hopefully.
Absolutely. As I say, we've got to, as you say, we've got to play all of them. So it's just a case of, obviously, if you lose one, it dents your confidence for the rest of it. But at the end of the day, we've just got to go out there and win as much as we can. As simple as that. So I think the SPL will want all these games like the Celtic versus Hearts and us versus. They'll want them out of the way pretty quickly so that there's no sort of. Nonsense like it happened at Ibrox.
No, and I don't think they want. I think no one repeats that. But I'm at the stage where now I would. This might sound quite wrong. What I'm about to say here, but it's not meant to sound like this. But I would much rather keep Celtic at an arm's length than Hearts, if you know what I mean. Keep that distance between, because I think Celtic have got that experience of winning these titles and things like that. So I don't want to give them any enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, if you cast your memory back to 2005, we had Hearts away, and Rickson scored a last-minute penalty in the run-in for that. So, not saying anything, but it's happened before.
Yes, indeed, and we might have another helicopter changing direction.
Absolutely, Chris. Well, pleasure as always to speak to you.
Not a problem. Have a nice day. See you later.
See you later. Bye-bye. So it's easy as that, folks. And Michael's been patiently waiting. He was third on the list to join in. Michael, how are you?
Good morning, mate. How are you? And happy Easter, everyone.
Yeah, happy Easter. Yeah, absolutely. How was Rochdale the weekend? A poor result, was it?
Oh, I thought we had John Sutter in defence.
Oh, jeez. I mean, it's not going to end your season, but you've still got. Have you still got the chance of automatic?
Yes, we have. York's on top in 98. They've scored 107 goals against 39. Rochdale is second with 98 points. Scored 83, 38 against. And we play York on the last day of the season. There's 4 games left. We actually play this afternoon. Rochdale are away to Hartlepool. And York have got Altrincham. Then there's 3 games left after today.
I always forget that the Easter weekend, it's the Friday, Monday they do it, isn't it? I always forget that.
But on the game, it was probably, I said to you the other day, Matthew Lund was the ex-player doing a question and answer. Then we had Dr. Kevin Jones, who's a comedian from Ramsbottom.
Oh yes,
So before the game, I met all the players, and I was given a signed shirt and a signed football.
Nice.
But I've donated that to the Royal British Legion to auction on the next charity night for the veterans who are homeless and injured soldiers. So I gave that to them. So hopefully they can raise some money for that.
What a man you are, Michael. That's very, very good of you. A lot of people would just sneak that shirt under their jacket and off they go. That's a great gesture from you. Well done for doing that.
If it was a Rangers shirt, I would have kept it.
So what did you think of the events at the weekend?
Well, when I seen the lineup with Sutter in it, I did a Martin. Go and fuck yourself, Sutter.
Martin's never done that. Martin's never seen anybody in the Rabble. You have to know that.
I know that. Yeah, but what Chris was saying about Olsen, I don't think he expresses himself a lot on the pitch as much as we hoped. But I'll still sign him, because we've got to remember he never played a lot of football and he was carrying an injury when he came to us. And like Asgard, I can see them being a second season player where we see the best of them.
You know, that's actually not a bad point, Michael. I think it's going to be important for Danny Rowe to have, obviously, these players that he wants in the current squad, and any new signings that come in. He'll want a pre-season out of them, won't he? Because you can't underestimate how big a pre-season is. It builds up all the muscles. It gives you it gets you training. It gets you just so sharp. And I'd love to see Danny Rowe a pre-season in these guys. I really would. I think it would just benefit them so much. So as you say, the likes of Asgard, who looks a little bit lightweight just now, maybe a pre-season will sort of bulk him up.
Yeah.
And also hopefully by that time has played all the bulk of the split fixtures, and then he's got then Rangers have got to make the decision. But as you say, I think if you're showing a bit of ambition, it's a sort of signing you have to make.
Oh, absolutely, because he is a class player. He's been there, done it. We've been after him for years.
Yeah.
Now we've got him. Then just because he's been injured and not playing a lot of football. Oh no, shit! And we've been wanting him for years. And all of a sudden, no, get rid. No. Give him time under Daniel Roll. 1-1.
Yeah. I mean, George is asking the question here: Who does Roll start on the right on Sunday? I mean, Partick, Pitch, Falkirk. Does it? I mean, would it lend? Would you think it would be Tav in the sense that Sterling and Plastic just maybe he's not sure about that?
It's a good question. I'm still going with that. With Sterling, because he was absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And even Gazama, he had a good game. Believe it or not, that was his 50th game for Rangers.
That's incredible, isn't it?
But he is an impact player. And I think, and Suter, good player. He's not first team. He's an impact player as well.
Mm-hmm. I think, as Chris said earlier, though, it's fairly obvious now that Fernandez and De Giga are this pairing now, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, that's that. I assume that he only played Suter on Saturday purely for the fact that Fernandez was travelling back from international duty.
Yep.
I think that's the only thing I can think of.
That's all I can think of. And keep him fresh for Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sorry, Sunday.
Sunday, sorry, yeah, absolutely. You'll keep him fresh for Sunday. So it's a case of. I've said for a long time here that your defence and your goalkeeper is the most consistent positions that you need. You need to keep them as the same as much as you can, albeit if there's a niggle or there's travelling or just form, you've got to play your best five at the back effectively. So it's it's got to be Sterling, Fernandez, Giga, and Romans. If you've got that back four, that's for me a solid back four.
We've got a replacement anyway. If Romans is not back for Falkirk, you got Magoma.
Yes, absolutely.
He's had a brilliant season.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
I think
it's all right. Go on, Ryan.
I think Poker may be giving Magoma a hard time now purely for the fact that Romans has elevated the performances, hasn't he? I mean, Magoma, I think he's a 19-year-old kid. He was thrown in at the deep end because there was nobody else to play there. So, as you say, he's done really well this season and he's an able deputy.
That's it. Right, and on the split, here's an interesting point for you. In the split, in history, not one team has won all 5 games.
Yep.
So it's still going to be squeaky bum time.
Oh, there's going to be twists and turns, Michael. There's going to be points dropped here. There's going to be points dropped there. It's as you say. There's nobody. I didn't realise that was an actual thing, that stat, that nobody's won all 5 games of the split. So that just shows you that it's almost a case of who blinks first, isn't it?
That's it. Then with the split, first 2 I was agreeing with you. Hibs away, Cedric away, but then I went Motherwell at home, Falkirk home, Hearts away, and a helicopter.
From what I've been led to believe, we've got 3 away games.
Yeah,
I think
away, then Hearts away, last game.
Yeah. Oh well, I mean, at the end of the day, as Chris said, Michael, it's a case of go out there and get the results when they come.
And then a helicopter, but the goal difference.
Well, I was at Easter Road in the last helicopter, so I'll take it. But a lot of the young bears aren't going to be able to cope with this pressure, are they?
Well, I'm 54, so I've seen it all.
Calvin's put in a bold prediction saying we're going to be the first team to win all 5 games in the split.
Well, hope you're bloody right. Well done, my man.
Absolutely. Well, Michael, as always, a pleasure to hear from you, and I'm glad you enjoyed your day out on Friday.
All right, all the best.
Take it easy now. Cheers now.
Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. And now we have got Paul. Paul is next. How you doing, Paul?
No, great, mate.
Oh, come on. What's up?
No, like I said to you on Friday, I wasn't feeling too good. Yeah, it got worse.
Oh, it didn't, did it?
Aye. Looks like a bit of a chest infection and a really nasty head cold.
Oh, gee. I get chest infections as well, and they're just murder. Absolutely murder.
Nah. So if I end up coughing my lungs up on this thing, don't mind it.
I'm right with you there. As I say, that's a horrible one. I get them fairly regularly as well, so I'm with you there. Did the weekend please you in the sense of the results? Did that cheer you up a little bit?
Yeah, great win on Saturday. Did you get that first goal? I was proven right in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Hearts bought on it on Sunday against Livingston was great.
Yeah.
Then Dundee couldn't do a bloody favour and messed up themselves with a bunch of wallies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, was it nice? I mean, there was a lot of people casting doubt about us, against Dundee United even, playing Dundee United. They said that we would struggle. Were you kind of glad in the sense that sort of was put to bed in the sense that we played first on the Saturday and did the business then?
Yeah. Get it in done with and just make the other two sweat.
Absolutely. But of course, it's roles reversed next week, isn't it? It's back to us being the chasers next Saturday.
Yeah. And out to God, Maya's back in defence and know that bomb scare sort of Jesus Christ.
Oh, I know. I think it's fairly obvious now that we need the Jugan Fernandez, isn't it?
Yeah. I think probably the reason he didn't play man is because he'd come back for playing that match for Nigeria and this that. So I think maybe a jet lag or something like that, and Danny probably didn't want to risk him.
Yeah, and I think he also played very well and he scored. He's probably just wanting to sort of calm him down a bit, isn't he? He's not wanting to, just give him a, because it's playing 2 games, or I can't remember if he played both games for Nigeria, but he did extremely well in one of them. So you're kind of wanting him just to calm down, and I know folk will say, "Oh, you should play him because he's on a good run and that," but nah, just that he's quite he's shown that he's a very shrewd manager. So a case of, as you say, just travelling. I can't remember where they were playing actually in Nigeria. I can't remember where they were playing, but it'll be nice. At least then he's eased into it and not just thrown back in the deep end, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a second half sub. Hold on. He was a second half sub in the first game and started and scored in the second. So there we go. So you got a game and a half.
Right.
And he was in Turkey as well. So they were playing in Turkey. So that's a fair jaunt, isn't it?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. So how do you see next weekend going?
Simple thing. We need to smash Falkirk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No fans or buts. Need to smash them.
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to carry on this momentum that we brought up before that break and winning at the weekend. We shouldn't, when it comes to this match this weekend, we don't pussyfoot about. We go straight for the jugular and be absolutely ruthless and just deal with them. Get it and done with at least 2 goals before the end of the first half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I absolutely.
Then put it to bed in the second half, and that's it.
Yeah, totally agree. Was you pleased in the sense that like Nadiri got his league goal, Asgard, Sterling even got a goal? I mean, he's really taken over.
Yeah, it was good for Nadiri if we get himself a goal because besides the 2 goals at the final match, he's been really big champ at the bit trying to get that, and I'm happy with that. hopefully if whatever happened to him that he had to be taken off half time isn't something too serious and that he's going to be all right for the weekend.
Yeah, well, normally do the Monday press conference, so it won't be far away. So we've got to see when this press conference comes out, and hopefully, as you say, it's not as bad as we first thought. But no, knowing our luck, we sign a guy, he scores a goal, and then all of a sudden he's injured, isn't he?
Yeah. And I'm happy. Yeah, Asgard didn't play too great in the first half, but got himself a goal. Done all right in the second half until he subbed off. Done really well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a case of we're just going to have to manage Nadiri, aren't we? Because the last thing you want to do is, because we've lost Robbins now till the second game of the split, I believe. So we don't want the same to happen to Nadiri. So we've just got to watch with him, haven't we?
Yeah. Yeah, and hopefully what Martin says that I'm fearing that he's out for the rest of the season does not come true, because if he does, we all know who we can blame.
Absolutely. There's only one man for that, and he's not here. Absolutely. I'm totally with you there, Paul.
Yeah.
It's all positivity here. There's none of this negativity stuff.
Yeah. One thing, when we stop the talk about the possibility of dropping points here, come on, we are doing well, we are winning games. Keep with the body positivity. Didn't you let the little nagging feelings get creeping in here? We don't need this at the moment.
No, you're quite right. And listen, that's Paul said it, folks. So be positive. You've got to be positive from now on. None of this negativity stuff. So thank you very much, Paul. Much appreciated for your call. Hope you get better soon. I hope that the medication's working on it.
I've got the cold and flu stuff in mind, so for work.
Oh, jeepers. Right, well, take care and get better soon.
I never thought, man.
Take it easy. Cheers, Paul.
Okay.
Cheers now. And we have Aldo, who's been extremely patient this morning. Aldo, how are you?
Right, mate. Not bad.
Are you well?
Yeah. Not too bad. See what I want to do first and foremost? I want to apologise to Dougal for my absolute wankness and the wrestling thing. I was an absolute knob, man. Right? I don't like wrestling, man, but I went into. I don't know. I got a message from Discord, and it was just wrestling. That's that. I don't like wrestling, mate. Right? So
that's all right.
I apologise to Dougal. I called him Hampshire, I think, or something like that, man. Fucking right. So I totally apologise. I hope Dougal takes my apology.
Aye, I'm sure Dougal will.
Right, so we're going to go to football now, right? Aye,
right. Absolutely. So what did you think of the weekend?
It was a very good performance, apart from John Suter.
Yeah.
Right, but even Mikey Moore wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch his documentary?
I did, yes. It was very interesting, wasn't it?
Aye, man. I think he's just I think I posted. I think he's just a Spurs player. I don't think he wants to play for us, to be honest with you. After this season, I don't know what you think about that.
I think he's enjoying his time here, but I think he seems to be a kid that's very driven, and he said yesterday on his on that interview that he's going to succeed. He believes he's going to succeed. So I think like we spoke about at the start of the season when we signed him, Spurs' only intention was to send him up here for one season, and then he was going to play for Spurs next season. I think that was the case all along. I think anybody that had any grand ideas of signing him like permanently and was totally out. There was no way that was going to happen. And I think the very extreme best that we could hope for is possibly another loan next season. But after that interview yesterday, it sounds as though he's going back down the road there.
Aye, that's what I thought. I was an advocate for him 25 million. I would pay 25 million for him and just get him here. But watching that, I'm like myself, I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted, man. He's a Spurs. He's a Spurs fan. He's a Spurs player. He's up here. He's enjoying it. He's loving it. If he get, but it may change if we win the league. If we win the league, and he sees what happens outside Ibrox when we win the league, he may be like, "Hold on, I could be here, man."
I think as well, you've got to factor in that he might have. I mean, if Rangers turn around and say we want to loan him again, there's a chance then that Moore could play in Champions League. And then Spurs and him have got to look at that and think, well, Spurs aren't getting any European football, so unless they somehow miraculously win the Champions League, which I can't really see happening. But no, there's an opportunity there for Mikey Moore to play in the Champions League. So would Spurs then turn around and think, would we loan him up there for another season and see how he gets on European wise?
Well, Spurs could actually win the Championship. I think it's highly likely they will actually win the Championship because they're absolutely garbage at the moment.
My apologies. Spurs got absolutely hosed in the Champions League, didn't they? So they've nothing now.
Are they out of the Champions League? No, I don't know, mate. I don't know. I don't watch it. Martin from one saying they're out, so I'm not sure, man. I'm just looking at
what's their who is it? Atletico Madrid hosed them, remember? 7-5 in aggregate. So
I don't know. I'm just seeing multiple ones fucking comment. Sorry for swearing. Sorry.
Right. No, Atletico Madrid beat him. Yeah, absolutely. So I think Spurs and Mikey Moore and the agent will sit down together and say, look, if everything, if it's all right in the night sort of style, if Rangers win the league and get straight into the Champions League, then Mikey Moore might be thinking to himself, you know what? It's maybe not the worst thing to hang around here for another year. His
documentary was just—he's a pure sportsman. From what I watched, and I think he wants to play for Spurs. It's quite sad.
I know, but
it's like Malik Tillman. It's like Kearney. We all off a loan.
It's like this. It's always say, don't fall in love with a lone player.
Yeah. Man.
Worst thing you can do.
But I know a few things I'm thinking about is, what do you think about Suter?
This is a hard one because he's a Scottish international. But I think Wolf said it yesterday on the boardroom. He's a siege player. He's a siege defender. He plays better when he's under pressure. When he's got the time to do, when he's got time when he's not in possession or he's not defending, and his concentration just wavers, doesn't it? It just moves around and he daydreams, doesn't he?
Do you want me to tell you what I think about John Suter?
Well, go on then.
He is the worst defender I have ever seen at Ibrox since I started watching Rangers in 1986.
That's a fair statement.
And that is going to be your Carl Svenssons, you can't even say Daniel Prodan because he didn't play.
No.
You're talking about your Cabrares, and when we went down to the divisions, John Suter is the worst defender I have ever seen at Ibrox.
Is he worse than Mosney?
Yes. Because Mosney had a bit about himself. But Mosney smashed that Motherwell player. So respect to that Mosney. Respect to Mosney. He smacked that Motherwell player because he had passion. See this Suter. Suter is just I can't say what I think. about Suter. He's a wuss. He's an absolute wuss.
It's before the threshold. Is that what you're trying to say?
Nah, no, he's an absolute wuss, man. He's got nothing. He's got nothing as a captain. It was a captain in Saturday. And I was sitting watching it. I was like, my God, David Weir's a captain. Barry Ferguson's a captain. Carlos Cooler is a captain. Even in going back, Richard Goff. John Suter is an absolute. I'm going to be polite and saying he's a fanny. Nico Raskin, right? No. Nico Raskin had to go up to the referee and say, "Why the F are you not booking him because you booked Asgard? Mm-hmm. You booked Asgard for nothing, and now you're not booking this. Who were we playing?
Dundee United.
Dundee United. Sorry, mate. You're not booking this Dundee United player. Raskin had to go up and say to the ref, and then the ref had to go up to Suter and say, "Do you want to tell this boy to go away?" Mm-hmm. And Suter just stood and you watched the game back. Suter's just he's just stood up and says, okay, Nico, go away."
I think.
Honestly, mate,
I think Suter maybe saved Raskin from further repercussions to the referee, because I think Raskin was certainly more, as you say, more vocal and sort of more vociferous than Suter. I think you can say that right.
Nico was being a captain. Nico was being a man of your team. Nico was saying to the referee, right, come on, the fucking referee, you're an absolute dauber. Come on, you need to. And next thing, a referee shat it and just says, "Who's the captain? I need to go and say, John, tell this wee guy to go away."
Yeah,
I would take Raskin as my captain every day a week. That's another point. Raskin is captain of Rangers next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it all depends if Mr. Raskin has a good World Cup with Belgium, doesn't it? Because I think a good World Cup with Belgium, there's every chance that he'll be away.
He is very good. Yeah, he's. See, thing is, he's better than what a lot of people on here think he is. He's an absolute baller. He's an absolute baller.
I like him as well.
He misses these passes, he doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. But Nico Raskin doesn't play for Belgium behind Kevin De Bruyne and Tielemans. He doesn't play behind them for a reason. Right? People say he comes back into defence too much. Yeah. He does that with Belgium. And Belgium seem to be doing not too bad with De Bruyne and Tielemans. I'm sure it's Tielemans in front of Raskin. That's the three midfielders. And we it's not as if they're pure shite. I think they're not bad.
No, they're good players. Absolutely good players. So what are you thinking on Sunday, Falkirk away?
Sunday, I think we might actually win quite easily because we're getting there. We're doing well. Unfortunately, Romans is injured. Magoma's not bad. Magoma's a good young deputy for Romans. Romans is just fucking Newman.
Brilliant player, isn't
he? He's Newman. He's Newman to me, man. He's the best we've had since Newman and David Robertson.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, Papach as well. Papach, I think we've got.
Papach ain't in the same league, mate. Nah. I know Papach is good, but no. Newman and David Robertson before. That's my That's my time. That's my time. Know what I mean? Papash was good, but not really. But in Sunday, I think we might win about 3 or 4-0.
I'll take that.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm thinking, because I know they've got good players. But that wee Barney Stewart, I think we might fucking. Sorry for swearing, man.
That's all right.
I think wee Barney Stewart could be a good boy for us.
Hearing Papash we say 7 out of 10 every week.
Papash was 7 out of 10, but Romans is 8 out of 10.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Papash is 8 and 9 out of 10. Romans is just. See, watching Romans, man. Watching Romans against Aberdeen, I was like, this is back in 1999 when Arthur Newman was running down the wing.
Yeah.
It was okay. Papash was what 2007, 8, 9, whatever it was, but Romans is just in a different level from Papash, and he's probably on the same level as Newman.
Absolutely.
I don't know if anybody will agree with it, but
it's all about opinions. Opinions are never wrong, Aldo. They're just what you think at the time. It's the same as when somebody says, "What do you think?"
It's the same as I had a disagreement with somebody about Chimity, right? Chimity. Somebody says McCoist was better than Chimity. I was like, well, how many goals did McCoy score in his first season at Ibrox in 1986? 7 or 8.
7 or 8 he scored, I found out yesterday.
Chimity has scored 8 already.
Yeah.
No, so I think I had an argument with somebody. I think I had an argument with somebody, and I thought, I can't remember who it was, but it doesn't matter. But I think Chimity is going to be an absolute superstar. See, it's just to go against them, overhead kick. It's the best goal anybody will ever see in an old-firm game. And anybody wants to disagree with me, give me a shout. Because you're not going to see a better goal.
Aldo will set about you if you don't agree.
That's that one. You can't. That's that one. No.
Absolutely. Well, nice hearing from you, Aldo. Nice hearing from you.
Thanks a lot, Bryce, man. It's good talking to you, big man.
Yeah, you as well.
Love you, mate. Love you fucking talking to you, man. Take care, big man. Take care, mate. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Aldo's there. And the next, we have our very own superstar, Mr. Wolf Marshall. Wolf, how are you?
I wouldn't say superstar. I'll tell you something, Brian. I'm glad you're paying for this call. The length of time I've been on hold. Deary me.
Sorry. You don't
have to talk. It's just I'm on my quiet day in the office.
How's it going today?
Much the same as it was last night, mate. I just thought I'd give you a call. Early doors, folks. That's how long I've been holding on. But I mean, it's interesting some of the takes here on different players. I mean, the Ali McCoist thing's interesting because what you younger boys won't remember is Ali McCoist joined us and played in midfield.
He was a midfield centre midfielder, wasn't he?
I mean, Ali McCoist scored a hat-trick in the League Cup final in 1984, and he scored his first goal from midfield wearing number 8 because in those days it was 1 to 11.
That's right.
So, to say that Chimity scored more goals than him, yes, he is. Yes, he did, but he wasn't playing as a centre forward at that time in his first season. You know what I mean? So it's like comparing eggs with bananas, really. You know what I mean? So
that was the first ever. That was the first ever trophy I seen Rangers lift on the telly.
First trophy I ever saw was lifted in person, and it was absolutely magnificent. And I actually predicted the Hod carrier saving the second penalty. I said he'll go the same way, and Bonner will save us. And he said that McCoist put in the rebound. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. But we're not here for all these yesterdays, so.
No, we're not. No, but it's nice to reminisce, isn't it?
Certainly is.
I mean, how are you feeling now after the day after? Are you feeling as confident?
Yeah, I'm always confident with Rangers win. We could be playing prime 1970 Brazil and I'd be expecting a Rangers win. You know what I mean? Even with the third division team, you know what I mean? Just the way I'm wired. I mean, my focus today is obviously tonight's Old Firm game for the women. Particularly after us beating Glasgow City last night, but we'll talk about that tomorrow night at 6 o'clock and do the women's show. But I mean, as for the men's first team, focus has got to be Falkirk. We've got to take it a game at a time. I mean, we're all chomping at the bit for the split fixtures.
Yeah,
I disagree with quite a lot of people. I think it's absolutely nailed on that the first game's Celtic up. I think it'll be a derby weekend. I think the first weekend after the split, we'll be at Parkhead and Hearts will go Easter Road because they'll want to get them out the road. Because after what happened at Ibrox after the cup tie, there's absolutely no chance we play them the following weekend because that's a bank holiday weekend. So there's no way they're going to play. Yeah, first weekend of May is a bank holiday weekend. Yep. So I can't see any way that they'll play that on the bank holiday weekend. And then playing it later than that, it's potentially a title decider depending on what happens the first two weekends. So I fully believe it will be the first. I've got no inside knowledge. I just think it will be the first weekend, thinking about it logically. But I also think we'll finish at Tynecastle, or if we don't finish at Tynecastle, we'll be at Tynecastle on Wednesday night. I don't know why, I just got this feeling.
I did mention, I can't remember who it was maybe Michael, that we played midweek against Hearts in the 05 season. Remember that night?
Yeah, take your word for it. I just remember like you being at Easter Road for the helicopter Sunday, and it was absolutely magnificent.
Oh, I've never gone from such a low to a high in the space of time that happened. It's difficult to describe, isn't it?
I was 10 minutes from the end of the game. I told my mate, and I want Celtic to score again because this is torture. Because they scored again, they weren't getting beat. I said, this is absolute torture. Then the place just went absolutely bongo when Scott McDonald scored twice. And he scored the first one, then it went bongo again. I thought it was full time, and he scored again. It was one of the guys that actually travelled with me didn't know Celtic had lost that game to them when we were back in Aberdeen. He thought it was a 1-1 draw. It was ridiculous.
Mental, isn't it? It's mental. But no, we played Hearts midweek that season, not long before the end of the season. We played them away from home and we won 2-1. Rickson last minute penalty.
Let's be honest, Brian. It doesn't really matter when we play anybody because we know what we've got to do, right? The only thing that's up in the air just now is where we go for the third time. Do we go to Falkirk, which is probably likely because I believe the way it's supposed to work is the team that finishes sixth should get the extra visit if somebody's got to visit them again. So we should be going to Falkirk again, which I don't really want because that's the lowest ticket allocation from myself, purely selfish point of view. That's the lowest ticket allocation, but we'll possibly go back to Falkirk again. Or do we go to Motherwell or do we go to Hibs? Now, realistically, I would imagine the way they're playing, going to Hibs is probably the easier game.
Mm-hmm.
Going to Motherwell's the bigger ticket allocation. So depends how you look at it, you know what I mean? But I've got a feeling it'll be Falkirk again. I mean, I might be wrong about the first game after the split being Celtic. They might put us back to Falkirk 2 games in a row. They might do that.
That'd be unprecedented, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if it would be unprecedented. I need to go back and check that, but it would certainly be odd. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But talking about Lane is we've got 6 games to go. Win the 6, we'll win the title. I think if we win 5 of the 6, depending on where the draw is, we'll win the title.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true. I mean, did you hear Michael saying that no team has won all 5 games in the split ever?
That's got to change sometime, isn't it?
That's some.
But let's be honest. It could be any of the 3 of us win the 5 will win the league.
Well, this is it. That's exactly it. If whoever either one of the 3 wins all 5, then they're going to win the league, aren't they? So that's it, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So it's we just have to win our games. Look at it one game at a time. I'm a little bit concerned that we're going away after the Falkirk game because coming back from mid-season breaks hasn't worked for us historically. You know what I mean? But hopefully it gives players time to rest up. Rest. Yeah. I mean, Robin's been out as a blow, but hopefully a bit of warm weather training will speed his recovery back. And the manager seems quite sad that he'll obviously miss Falkirk on Sunday and he missed the first game after the split. If he's missing that one, I really hope. I kind of hope it's at Celtic because we could do with them playing that. Although Jason McGowan was never let us down in games like that. So, I've got no problem with Muldoon being in there, but Mikey Moore seems to play better with Romans behind him, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I think it is a case of the split fixtures will happen the way the land, and we'll just have to deal with them as they come. There's no point in getting our sort of knickers in a twist and sort of saying, "Oh, we'll have to play them away." You know, it's nice to predict and it's nice to think, but let's be honest, we're dealing with people who are thinking totally different, aren't they?
Yeah, and like as I said last night, it's not so much who plays who on which weekend, it's who plays first and who plays second and who plays third. You know what I mean? Like the weekend past there, we played before the other two for the first time this season. Next weekend we're playing last because they're both playing on the Saturday. So when the split fixtures are done, I would expect most of them will be on the telly. So there'll be very few, if any, 3 o'clock Saturday kickoffs. So it'll be who plays on the Saturday at lunchtime, who plays on the Saturday evening, who plays at when on the Sunday. And I'd like to think that they'll make it fair that, you know, everybody will at least have a shot of going last, but I can't really see that, to be perfectly honest. I mean, there's going to be a weekend whenever the Old Firm is. That I expect that will be the Sunday. So Hearts will probably play on the Saturday. I would expect. I wouldn't expect both. No, I wouldn't expect the Old Firm on the Saturday on the Sunday. Maybe the Edinburgh Derby was the same day on the Sunday as well.
Yeah,
it's just going through the comments. Sky will be absolutely from Rangers on tour. Sky will be licking their lips because the games they've got. You know what I mean? The Old Firm Derby, Edinburgh Derby. There'll be two intercity derbies for both clubs, so they've got 4 intercity derbies altogether. You know what I mean? And it's going to be very, very. They've also got, I believe, Premier Sports have got a lot of the lower league, the bottom half of the league stuff to go live as well. So there's going to be games all over the place, and it's going to be interesting. But we just have to keep winning games of football. It's as simple as that, absolutely simple as that. And you know, I mean, I don't know. I can't think past Sunday, to be honest. I mean, I want the split fixtures out so that I know what I'm doing, so I know where we're going. It gives teams more. I mean, let's be honest, right? If we put the split fixtures out tomorrow, don't expect it today because it's technically a bank holiday, right? Which is why I'm so quiet at work, right? I don't expect the split fixtures today, but I would expect them in the next couple of days, right? Although some part of me says it won't be till next week because they'll want to know exactly how the league lies, just in case somebody gets beat next week. Yeah. But the earlier they get them out, Brian, the more time they've got to market the games, right? Well, but the SPFL isn't very good at marketing itself.
No, and I think somebody else obviously mentioned, is there a holiday next Monday?
No, the holiday's the 4th of May, so that's a couple of weeks time.
That's fine. So it'll be Monday. They'll be out, won't they?
There's a few in the know, if you like. I just said their quotes there and nobody can see me. I'm just so used to being on screen. In the know social media sites saying they'll be in the next couple of days. There's no reason they can't be in the next couple of days because the top 6 is sorted.
Yeah.
Because Falkirk are sick. And as I say, the earlier they get them out, the more chance there is. The TV companies might want them out quick so that they can start bigging up. Because if they're having, as people are suggesting, a derby double header for a Super Sunday or whatever, right? Sky will want as much time as possible to advertise that. They'll want to go to advertisers and say, look what we're doing. This is going to be blockbuster stuff. You know what I mean, give us your money or get people to try and subscribe into it or whatever it is they do. So, you know, the earlier the better for me, so that we know what we're doing, where we're going. But you know what they'll do? They'll probably put the fixtures out tomorrow or Wednesday, right? And then just say these fixtures may change due to TVs, and then they'll just change them all. They'll change the kick-off times in them all. It's Scottish football in a nutshell, isn't it?
You know it's going to happen, don't you? It's just a case of when, not if. It's when.
Oh, it's ridiculous. They'll bring them out and then say, by the way, it was only the first weekend the fixtures that are nailed on. The rest of the kick-off times will change. Because that's Scottish football in a nutshell, isn't it? Really, you know.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is.
I mean, there's eyes on. There's the eyes of the world are on this season, right? Not because it's a close title race, but because it's a close title race, not just involving us and them, right? Mm-hmm. Because Hearts. I mean, you speak to anybody from that likes football from basically anywhere in the world, and they'll at least have half an eye on the Scottish title race because it's unprecedented that Hearts are up there. I mean, we've been waiting for them to fall out of that tree since the end of August, right? And they're still hanging on to that tree. They've been off the top for 23 hours, which is what we won on Saturday, until they won yesterday. I mean, That's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
True.
Absolutely ridiculous. So the eyes of the football world are on Scotland just now because it is unprecedented. It's such a close race.
Mm-hmm.
So the earlier they can tell these people, the earlier they can tell people this is what's happening, the more eyes they'll get on it. And that's what football's all about. I mean, it's commercial. It's all about getting eyes on it. And the TV companies have got to want to know that. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Well, safe travels down to Glasgow today, Wolf.
You're assuming that I'm going to be finished working time to go to Glasgow today, which I hope to be.
Yeah.
I should be, actually. You're assuming that I'm going to be finished working time to go to Glasgow today. I'm not actually going to Glasgow, I'm going to Hamilton because the game's at Douglas Park. So.
Yeah. Well, Wolf, I always assume you're going to be finished in time and away, so don't worry.
Well, if it doesn't go tits up in the next 2 hours, I probably will be able to get away. So pick them up on route. So hopefully the women can do as a turn today. Put us back into second in the women's, which will be, by the way, that's another thing Scottish football should be marketing itself. If we win this Old Firm game tonight, right, we'll be second a point behind Hearts. Does that not sound familiar? The men's team as well.
Like these are all over.
Scottish football should be punting this all over the place. You know what I mean? It's mental. It's just they don't know how to market. I mean, the EPL is marketed as the greatest football league in the world, and half of their games are a bag of nonsense, right? An absolute bag of bolts, half of their games, right? But they market it as the best league in the world because they're really, really good at it. I mean, we get guys like Doncaster sitting there going, "No, I'll turn up for a trophy presentation." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never hear from the guy. He should be big. He should be big in this title. It's up because it's close. There's 3 points between first and third, right? With 6 games to go, right? And apart from Celtic playing St Mirren on Saturday, the top 6 are playing each other because we're playing Falkirk, Hearts are playing Motherwell, and then everybody's playing each other. Right?
Yeah.
Doncaster should be bumping that up like nobody's business. Haven't heard a word at the guy in months.
Wolf, we're joined by the Australian legend, Stephen. How are you doing?
Very well. 3 points. Cannot complain one bit.
No, not at all. How are you?
Yeah, doing well. Can't complain at all. You know, as I said, 3 points. Sort of sums up the week, does it not?
It certainly does. As Wolf was saying, you know, it's the fixtures are obviously going to be coming out very soon, but does it really matter the order? We're going to have to play them at some point.
On a plus side, it's good knowing that we can put that nail in the coffin for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for McInnes.
Mm-hmm.
I personally thought he was going to pull a sickie. Didn't think he was going to rock up for that match, but it's great to see Livingston taking points, though. Like, as a season all round for Scottish football.
I was one of the few that said that Hearts were going to struggle yesterday. I don't know why. I just had a funny feeling that, you know, the evidence that I watched when we went there, I just thought Hearts were going to struggle.
Right, it's funny. I said yesterday. Right, I've said all week I thought Hearts would struggle yesterday, but I said to somebody actually after the game yesterday that, you know, it's mad that Livingston fighting for their lives. They've only won 1 game all season. Rangers go there, draw 2-2. Hearts go there, draw 2-2. I mean, this season's absolutely bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers.
It's a season like no others, Stephen. It's you're kind of just expect the unexpected now, haven't you?
Oh, I mean, I'm a big supporter of Dundee as well. Like my uncle, he supports them. So we're always catching a game together, and it's just been a great season. Like, especially because they're in that bit of a battle at the moment. They looking like they might fall back into it, but it's just unheard of. I still look at Livingston. 1 win. One win. But seeing them take that point against Hart, you can see it in the players. They know they're going down, sadly, but knowing that you can disrupt the rest of the league after having such a poor season, you know, things might not everyone went their way. I haven't seen too much of Livingston, but for them to be taking points from teams at the top of the league does say a lot.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Wolf, just finally before you go, is it a case of, as you said, it's one game at a time? Falkirk are up first. The fixtures will fall how they fall. There's nothing we can do about that. And Danny Rowe, he won't change, will he?
No, I mean, there's been a lot of chat this morning about Danny Rowe, whether he will or won't be here at the end of the season. Listen, even if we don't win this league, which obviously we all hope we do, right? He deserves a chance at next season. He deserves a full season because, everybody said, had we had him since the start of the season, we'd probably be champions or any of the day we'd be playing. There's no evidence of that. But if you look at the stats, which everybody's quite good at doing, then it probably indicates that. I mean, we've still only lost 2 games this season. We've drawn about 1 million. We've only lost the 2, both the Hearts, right? One either of the Tigers. You know what I mean? So it's mental. He won't change. He deserves next season, hopefully in the Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Because that Olympiacos result was a good boost for us, but we can't even look at that. We can't look at that until we know what we've done. But see, internally in the dressing room, they should be saying, "Listen, look at the carrot that's there, boys. Right? You'll get a longer summer. Win the league, you'll get a longer summer off because you don't need to come back early because you don't have European qualifiers in July." Right? Your first European game is going to be in the Champions League in September. If it goes the way we hope it goes, right? What incentive do these guys need? You know what I mean? And just before I go on the Mikey Moore point, that we're all watching the documentary and saying, no, he said he wants to go back to Spurs. It's a Spurs documentary. What do you want to say? Do you want to say, yeah, I'm happy at Rangers and live another year here? It's a Spurs documentary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's going to say, yeah, it's great for me. I'm looking forward to going back to Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to say that, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he was. And at the end of the day, I think the intention was always going to be just a season-long loan, and that was it, Wolf, wasn't it?
Well, it depends what De Zerbi wants to do with him. I mean, De Zerbi's just come into Spurs. He won't have seen him. So you'll go there for the start of pre-season. And obviously, need to try and impress his new man. De Zerbi might look at it and go, depending on what division they're in, because they might still get relegated. He might look at it and go, well, he's not quite what we need just now. We'll put him back out on loan, and he's settled in Glasgow, put him back to Rangers. But then De Zerbi might look at it and go, look at what he's done at Rangers. He could do a job for Spurs, bring him back to Spurs. That's completely out of our hands. Mm-hmm. I think if he went back out on loan, there's only one place Mikey Moore would want to go, but whether Spurs would sanction that is a different story.
Well, the only reason I said that he might come back on loan is if the scenario happens that we win the league and then we end up in the Champions League and Spurs will want to see him in the Champions League.
But then they might want him to get them back into the Premiership.
Well, this is it.
I mean, we don't know. It's all like buts and maybes.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, Wolf.
No
much appreciated.
Lovely to talk to you, and I'll leave you, Brian, by asking Stephen for a weather update because you haven't asked.
Thank you very much. Cheers now.
But, Brian, enjoy the rest of your show. You'll probably be there till I leave to get down the road. So.
See you later, Wolf.
Take care, Will.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.
What is the weather update today, Mr. Stephen Robertson?
It was 24 degrees today, Brian. That's cool. Nice cool weather. That was good for a change. Light shower.
And we are joined obviously by your sidekick on a Monday, Mr. Multiple Man. How are you doing?
Good morning. How are we, Brian? How are we, Stephen?
Very well. Very well.
Were you pleased with the events at the weekend?
Oh, absolutely delighted. I'm also delighted with this because today is a day off work, but the kids are also home, so I've been granted leave to come upstairs to join the podcast. So hopefully this goes on till about 3. Because this is peace and quiet for me.
Granted, you've been granted leave.
Well, yeah, I was watching them all morning, and then I saw the show was on, and I said to my missus, "Says get out of that bloody shower."
Oh no!
Hosting the show would have finished by now, wouldn't it? So because Brian Marathon Man is on, that's a good one.
If there's folk to speak, I'll speak.
Yeah. But as for the football, I mean, the split stuff really annoys me because, please correct me if I'm wrong here, but I believe that Hearts will play 3 home games after the split. Is that right?
We're going to play 3 home games.
No, Hearts will play 3 home games.
Yes, I believe so. Yes,
and I think that 4, apart from us, they should play away from home against the other 4. If you did 2 home and 2 away, so they're going to have to give Hearts 2 extra home games against teams in the top 6.
Yep.
And what's that going to be? Hibs and Motherwell or Falkirk? Because they're not going to send Celtic to Tynecastle 3 times, right?
No.
So are they going to then put someone at a disadvantage like a Hibs, for example, or a Motherwell, who are now in a battle for 4th place, which is the final European spot? So you're going to disadvantage them. They'll probably send Falkirk there, but then that's probably messing with Falkirk's setup. It's just, I just don't see how it works. And I think in the past, some teams have played 20 away games and 18 home games because they just cannot work it out.
Yep.
And could they possibly do that in a league title race to say, well, sorry Hearts, you're going to have to play 20 away games? That would be so unfair on Hearts.
Yeah, I mean Hearts have. I'm just looking at Hearts fixtures. They've had Hibs at home twice, so they'll be at Easter Road.
But because of this breakdown of the way the top 6 is going to finish, are they going to send Hibs to Tynecastle again?
No.
And if
there's there'd be absolute bad in Edinburgh, wouldn't there?
If they don't, that means they're sending Motherwell there twice, another time. Yes. Which is then unfair on Motherwell because they're in a battle with Hibs. So, I think that's a crazy system. I don't know why we don't do a split after 2 rounds of fixtures, so it's fairer.
Yeah.
Doing after 3 rounds of fixtures is crazy.
Yeah, so doing 2 rounds, so doing 2 laps of the fixtures rather than just 1.
Yeah, and then you can even have a larger split at that point, but maybe, I don't know how many teams, or 8 teams or something like that, I don't know. But anything is better than this because we have to go to Falkirk 3 times now. And you think it might be Motherwell? I mean, if they send us to Fir Park 3 times in a season when they have been the most dangerous team outside of the top 3, that would be so unfair on us.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we've got Hearts away and Celtic away.
Yeah, and up until recently, Motherwell were in the title race. So could you imagine they sent us to Fir Park for a 3rd time against a title rival? That would have been shocking. So, I know. They're probably happy that Motherwell fell out a little bit, so they can do things like that. But because they're not treating it the same, because they would never send the Old Firm teams away to each other 3 times. So I mean, there's one rule for one, and there's one rule for another.
Well, you better believe there is. You better believe there is. I mean, Stephen, it is an unprecedented season, as Wolf said, in the sense that Hearts have been top of the league for so long. They've been there since week 6, I believe. They were knocked off for 23 hours, but at the end of the day, that this is unusual territory for the league now, isn't it? They've now got to consider 3 teams fixtures, really, in the sense that there's 3 teams going for the league, so they've got to watch what they're doing here, in the sense that obviously recent events at Ibrox, they're not wanting that to happen. They've got an Edinburgh derby to factor in there as well, so they're gonna have to watch themselves here, aren't they?
Well, I guess you're sort of half right. It's not, I wouldn't say unfamiliar territory. You got to remember who's at the helm there, McInnes. Remember the season they had last year. I'm one big on this, where you can't take it away from him, in the sense it's what Aberdeen did last year at the start of the season for what, 5 matches, 6 matches, and then dropped off. Where I sort of always knew it was going to happen. If it wasn't us, it was going to be them. If we had have kept Martin at the helm, it definitely would have been them. And with O'Neill coming back in,
don't mention that name.
Well, just got like, I'm not. I haven't seen a photo of you multiple, man. So I don't know if you've still got hair, but every time he comes back for them, mate, you must be pulling a bit more out, eh?
Absolutely. He's my worst nightmare. And guess what? That Hearts result yesterday put it back in their hands.
It did actually, didn't it? So because before that, it was only Rangers and Hearts that were in their own hands, but now everybody's got it back in their own hands, haven't they?
Yeah, until yesterday they needed favours. They got one.
Yeah.
So Celtic can realistically sit there and go, we win our games, we win the title. That's just a fact.
But did you not hear Michael's comment earlier that no team has won all 5 games in the split?
Well, no, we haven't. Celtic have plenty of times.
But then you seen Calvin's comment, which Calvin was spot on. We are going to win the first.
Remember,
5 after the split.
Remember, I was having the argument with Martin and Wilf about O'Neill bottled it in 2003. And I was like, O'Neill won all 5 games after the split in 2003. But wasn't enough because we won it in goal difference.
Yes.
The serious question is: do you think we can get beat by either of them?
Well, yes, we could. Yeah, quite easily. Yeah, they're the only 2 teams to beat us domestically.
I just don't see it with the current form that we're in. And I think it was Mark that said it on the reaction. It's that belief. And it's flowing through the players now. Where you've seen it in the Deary, Miovski. When I seen that starting 11, I know a lot of people wouldn't have been too happy with it, but I myself was asking for Magoma to get a start, even just minutes again, where he has done a job for us throughout the season. Quite a few of the players there have. And it was just getting that opportunity. Where we're on a pretty big roll here. No puns intended. The only downside, and I hate to be the one to jump on that bandwagon, but it's John fucking Suter.
Well, I think it's fairly obvious now what the partnership should be, Stephen. I think it's there, isn't it? It's as plain as the nose in your face. It's there. If you can't see that, then you're on a downward spiral, aren't you?
That's what's going to win us the league. It's the Fernandez jigger.
I think it is. I mean, it's, as I say, they certainly since the new year, they've somehow formed this partnership, multiple man, that I never expected. I certainly didn't expect them to be as solid as they have been, because I think it's fair to say that both of them, when they started at Rangers, were lambasted, weren't they? Because nobody thought they were good enough. Now they're absolute dead certs, and Fernandez is scoring goals for Nigeria now, of all things.
Yeah, and I remember back to, I can't remember the date, but it was before Christmas that we went to Ferencváros, and that was the centre-back pairing. And I remember saying to my friends in text messages, this is an absolute disaster. These two playing together. And if you recall, Ferencváros' winning goal went over Giga's head, and Fernandez was doing a pirouette at the back post and lost his man, and they scored the winner. And I just remember thinking, we need these two out of the team as soon as possible. And now I wouldn't want anybody else in the team but those two. So it's funny how things change. Suter on Saturday, Giga was worse in the first half by a country mile until the goal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Giga was doing in the first half. I know that people will say it's because Suter was beside him, but that doesn't excuse staring into the stand as your man runs in behind you. And that guy ended up doing like a weak pass back to Butland. I don't know what he was doing, but Giga's standing there like, where's he going? What's happening? And but then on the goal, again, Suter is just a disaster. I know Chukwani should foul him. He definitely should. But see, even as no matter what level you play football at, there's certain things that even us amateurs know, right? You don't show guys onto their stronger foot when they're running at you one-on-one. You know, as a defender,
100%.
yeah,
100%.
as
All
a
you need
defender,
is that bit of space.
yeah, as a defender, you know you're in trouble there, right? So you take the lesser of two evils, you show him to his weaker foot, and you back your goalkeeper from a tighter angle. And this guy, he didn't even have to work hard to get it to his right foot. He just came inside, really relaxed, and Suter was not there. So it was very, very poor defending.
And on that, I'll back Butland in 100%. I think a lot of us would. He's not had it easy one bit, and a massive part of that has been John Suter. You're only as good. You're only as good as the players in front of you, and if they're letting players have shots like that on their preferred foot, this isn't the training ground like what Will says. John Suter's good at clearing the ball. If he's behind the ball and he's seeing it coming with no danger coming towards him, he's not an impact player. He does not thrive under pressure. He is a liability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think the manager and a lot of the players would have seen it as well, but Danny would have noticed that. And big changes that's where the changes need to happen, because this is one point sorry, Brian, I wanted to really bring up with you is what's that, 8 goals in 2 matches?
Yeah.
Was it 8 separate goal scorers, if I'm correct?
Yes.
What is in a season that we're having with no outright striker to have 8 individual goal scorers? Yep. That's a great thing. Where something's happening right up front.
Absolutely. I mean,
can I just say that I think it was
come back on multiple man. Jason's got a question to ask you about the split.
All right,
Jason.
I'm here. Good morning, guys. How we doing?
All right, Jason. How we doing?
I know,
mate. Back from holiday.
Aye,
freshened up.
Well, I'm not saying I'm fresh, but I'm back. That's about it. I'm still trying to recover. No, you were talking about the split, and I brought this up earlier on to Brian, and I don't know if he's maybe have heard that. In previous seasons, there's been a lot of dead rubber games, at the top of the league or at the bottom. How would you feel if you took away the split this year? But again, it would still leave us to go to Parkhead and Tynecastle. Would you find that more and not so much an easier split, but a more preferable split for everybody else to get a crack, rather than going to, what as you said there, multiple and going to Fir Park or Falkirk 3 times?
Do you mean changing now to a 44 game season? Is that what you mean?
No, get back to the way it used to be. You would play, rather have the split at 33. Forget about the split and just go to the end of the season.
Yeah, I would prefer that. Like no split at all.
Aye, no split again. But again, this is only because it's still a 3-way tie for the top of the league, and then it's more fairer on the other teams. It's not so much like. Nobody wants to go to Fir Park three times this season. Nobody wants to go to Falkirk 3 times, or whoever 3 times away one season. It just brings that, to me, a wee bit more competition back into this final stretch of the season.
Yeah, and just one thing to say about when I was saying there that yesterday's results have brought Celtic back into it in the sense of they can win all their games. What actually the result for Hearts did for us is that we don't need to win all 6 now. We can win 5 and draw at Parkhead. We win the title. So that's given us that.
We're not going to draw at Parkhead. We're going to win at Parkhead.
Well, I hope you're right, Steve-O.
That's going to be the first game fixtured multiple man, and we're going to nail that coffin.
Well, that would mean Romans wouldn't be there, and that would concern me. But,
Yeah, Magoma will be fit.
I still think, even though we've not got Romans, as Steve was said there, Magoma's played the majority of the season there, and he's still that's a good option to have. We're on the right. We haven't got such a good option. It's either Tavor Sterling and Aarons, if really required. I mean, if really required. Where on the left you've got Romans, and if he's no fit, you can bring in Magoma, which is I'm not saying he's as good as Romans, but it's a perfect solution to your worst case.
I mean, my predictions for the split, as I said earlier, was Hibs at home first up, Celtic away, Hearts away, Falkirk home, Motherwell away. I just feel we're going to get the three hard ones away. I don't know if you all agree, but I've just got a funny feeling we're going to get Motherwell away as the third fixture.
Well, that would be absolutely disgraceful. That's basically saying to Rangers, we're going to make it as hard for you as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if you're going to
I think even my permanent. Sorry about man.
On you go, Jason.
I think my split was even tougher. I was saying Hearts first, then Motherwell, either home or away, then Celtic. That to me is the worst case scenario for this split, as if it happens like that. But again, we've got to, this is where I say, well, let's not have the split this year. Let's, granted, we still know we get Parkgate and Tynecastle at Gotti. You still keep it there, but it gives everybody a better chance to win the title. And again, maybe I'm seeing it from a totally different perspective. But again, I would rather not put the split in this year at 33 and just let it the way I see it, not just going for a normal end to a season. Keep the fixtures going. And again, I know that's a controversial statement, but that's something, again, maybe that's what the SFA are looking at because of how tight it is.
I think one thing's certain, Stephen, we're going to be away from home in the last game, though.
Sorry, what's that, Brian?
I think we'll be away from home the last game of the season.
I think it'll be done and dusted by then. I mean, don't get me wrong, everybody loves a good Sunday.
I love your confidence. I love it.
Nothing. Don't get me wrong, winning the league is going to be something else. But seeing McInnes's face, get it fucking up, you mate. I've said it all days after. I cannot stand that bloke. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. It's not the right time. Thank you very much. Supposed to be a supporter of the club, mate. Like in Danny Roll, we trust. What an absolute gem.
Yeah,
I was surprised by the way Hearts sort of faded yesterday. If you take our 2-2 draw at Livingston, we were piling on the pressure at the end, and whereas Livingston scored to make it 2-2, Hearts had been dominant in between the two Livingston goals, but it was like that 2-2 goal seemed to knock Hearts for 6. And I thought Livingston would probably had the better chances in the final, 25 minutes? I can't remember when Livingston scored, but you didn't feel that Hearts were pounding their goal trying to get a winner. And of course, Hearts turned into the Scottish rugby team right at the end. Just taking that guy out, but
I'm not being funny.
That's kind of what we wanted Chukwani to do on Saturday, and I think someone said that. We're all criticising Suter, but he shouldn't be left exposed. That's why defenders want their midfielders to take the yellow card at that point, and he should have done it, but he didn't.
I mean, just quickly going on to that decision, Malcolm, that for me is another alarming decision that a referee has made when the linesman's right there, the fourth official's right there, and the referee, all three officials were in perfect position, and between the three of them, they came to a decision that it was only worthy of a yellow.
I thought the most staggering decision of the weekend, I don't know the name of the guy, but the guy at Dens that needed VAR to see a handball, the penalty for Dundee. Everyone in the stadium knew it was a handball. And I think even Chris Sutton on commentary went, as the game raged on, he went, I think there'll be a penalty coming for Dundee here.
Yeah.
Everybody could see the arm was way outside of his body and he blocked it. And you're watching it going, why aren't you giving that live? Why do you need VAR? And then, of course, he's over right away to send off the Dundee guy. When I thought that was more 50-50 because there was a Dundee covering defender who might have got there. But he's over straight away, red card, and of course that means it's not going to get overturned at that point.
Right,
no, because there's not a doubt.
Right, well, we all berate our officials, and rightly so. While sitting in Alicante Airport on Saturday night, the Espanyol Real Betis came on. Wow. And some of the decisions in that game were putting our referees to shame. And I mean, I was sitting there honestly cringing, thinking, am I watching a game in Scotland or is it a Scottish referee that's running this? Because...
Jason, I've said this for years. We moan about our referees. You watch any game in Europe, it's horrendous. It's like slightest little sneeze on someone, they go down. Free kick. It's just constant free kicks, and people are diving everywhere. The referees are garbage in Europe, but we think ours are worse.
Well, the one that I remember was one of the Espanyol players has won the ball, and he's been through basically a ruck of Real Betis players to get it. And the Espanyol players been then clipped and taken out. The referees gave the decision to Real Betis. And I'm thinking, am I seeing this? Again, I was in disbelief of some of the decisions. But then you come here and you watch some of our decisions. Now you can wind it back. I think was it the Dundee United second goal? Was it Mikey Moore that got took out in front of Don Robertson? And he played on.
The first goal. Yeah, first goal.
The first goal. You're like, surely that's going to get, because how many times have we goals been pulled back for that sort of tackle?
Yeah. I think the problem with Scottish referees is that they make these big, massive clangers. The big decisions they get wrong. But see, just like little in-game fouls, the continental referees drive me crazy because they just give fouls. They give fouls for the slightest little touch all the time. But there was one yesterday, Dens were Celtic were holding on the last few minutes, and that James Forrest chipped the ball, and he just launched himself into the air. It was the biggest dive you've ever seen, and the ref went, "Get up, throw into Dundee." You're like, just book him. Yeah, he's clearly dived, but it doesn't.
I think the bravest referee was the referee Olympiacos versus AEK Athens, who denied Olympiacos a last-minute equaliser. So. I think that referee is in hiding now.
He's probably 6 foot under.
No, but that's all I'd phone back in for was to ask that point. But we seem to have rattled on a bit. No, but again, as I said, and got to Aldo Penny's question saying that Chermiti's goal was the best self-firm goal. Look at David Cooper's keep you up against Celtic in the Driver Cup final. Mm-hmm. That's got to be up there.
I mean, it's so difficult, isn't it? One's an overhead kick, which is notoriously difficult to do. Excuse me, and then you've got somebody doing basically keepy uppies over players and tucking it away in the corner. It's mental. But I mean, I would always like to bracket them. Like that, for me, it's difficult to separate the two of them, so you put them in the same category.
Aye, and again, you could go a category further. The era they're in, the goals are up there as number one, so they've got to be the top goals of these seasons.
Yeah,
because what I mean, overhead, the skill, the timing, and the same with keep you up. You've got to make sure you make contact with the ball when it's up there and no handle it. So again, there's been some great goals in the Elfirm games, but they two have got to be up there as the top two.
Yeah, I mean, are you excuse me, are you along the same line, Stephen, in the sense that it's difficult to separate, like the Cooper final goal, the Dryborough Cup goal, the Chermiti goal, the Tern goal, the Wilkins goal. There's so many goals that you could label as the greatest ever Rangers game in an old firm, but it's very difficult to separate them, isn't it? Stephen's still with us? No, he's not. Sorry, I'm speaking into space. Stephen's dipped out, but I'll ask you multiple one then. It is difficult to separate these sort of goals, isn't it?
Of course, and I think we'd all agree they're just all marvellous.
Yeah.
Aye.
I was once on a podcast years ago where we did a top 10 Old Firm goals, and number one was Davy Cooper in the Dryborough Cup. But my number two was Gaza at Parkhead in '95, where it's a breakaway between McCoist and Salenko, and I just love the way that the camera sort of goes close up to McCoist, and the commentator says he's got Gascoigne racing through the midfield, right. And Gascoigne has ran from his own box at full speed, a third man run. But the reason why I put it so high is because he sprinted 80 yards to get on the end of this beautiful pass from McCoist, and he somehow manages to slow everything down, slows his body down, slows the whole game down, and he actually just cushions the ball over the goalkeeper. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely astonishing composure at the end of it's like I think I heard it once said about Durant's goal against Celtic. It's like a moment of ballet in amongst rock and roll, and that's what Gascoigne was like that day. He just calmed everything down at the moment when everything must have been going mad in his head. He sprinted so far, he must have been exhausted, and here was this chance, and he just caresses it beyond the goalkeeper, and then his celebration is absolutely memorable. Standing in front of the supporters who are going crazy because it was that little section, wasn't it? Because the goals behind the goals was getting rebuilt, so it was this little small section, wasn't it? And they're just all going mental. And there's that famous guy jumping up and down in front of Gascoigne. That guy's an absolute legend to me.
Yeah, I think my other favourite Gaza goal was obviously the header, the diving header against Celtic. When they hit the bar, we broke. Gaza again sprinted the whole length of the pitch to get on the end of that. And then you've got to look at Alberts' goals, the Parkhead semi-final goal where he ran from his own half, and then the Ibrox one later. The Ibrox one the week later where he did exactly the same thing. I mean, it's, as you say, the lungs must have been breathing. I mean, Alberts was on 40 a day, wasn't he? Cigarettes. So he must,
it was.
He must have been struggling after that 2 runs.
I think it was. Oh, sorry, Jason, on you go. Yeah.
But then you get Wilkins' 25-year volley.
Oh, I love that goal.
Yeah. Against Damon Andrews, you know what I mean? Brilliant. You could sit here all day and go through and argue what's your most memorable goal against that lot. You could go Davy Cooper's penalty in the CIS Cup final, the League Cup final that year. Yeah. There's hundreds of goals that would be up there.
Mm-hmm. I thought I would put Ray Wilkins' celebration as one of my favourite celebrations of all time after that goal. It's just something about his face. This is an English guy. He's not getting any links to Rangers, and he scores this volley. And the way he runs away celebrating, and it's like I think McCoist is chasing him, and there's just this ecstasy on his face. It's almost like he's taking the feeling of the crowd in that moment, and he's just lost in this world of pure ecstasy, just like we all are. Right. And it is absolutely glorious to see the way he reacted to it, and also to know Spinning also put one in the comments about Big Bertie Conterman. That is one of my favourites because that guy was a joke figure.
Aye,
and they used to cheer his name in the team sheet at Ibrox, and when they used to come to Ibrox and they read out Conterman's name, the Broomlow end would all cheer and celebrate because Conterman was playing, and then that night he rammed it right back down their throat with an absolute howitzer.
Aye, and that was, I don't usually do Christmas nights out, and that was the first Christmas night out I'd ever done. and I was in the casino, and I just managed to look up and he struck it. And you're in a casino, you're trying to keep the lid on it, but you're beaming, you're like, yes.
I reckon if the net wasn't there, that ball would still be going.
It's a cannonball. I mean, he runs onto it almost like his left arm's like a windmill. Here we go. I'm winding up, and it's like an Exocet missile. And that was the one thing in his game that he had. He could really ping a ball. Mm-hmm. He wasn't my favourite player, but he could drill a 60-yard ball, and he could hit a great shot. One thing that's in the comments there is they're mentioning Mark Walters. To me, I think he's one of the great overlooked players in Rangers history. Not in the sense that we don't rate him, it's just that he's got a sandwich between the eras of Davy Cooper and Brian Laudrup. There's a couple of years apart, but to me, he's right up there with those two. He was absolutely fantastic for Rangers, Mark Walters. A tremendous big man, goal scorer. His crosses were excellent, and I think he is a highly overlooked player in the 9 in a row era. Just because I think he was just as good as those two for us.
I mean, have you ever seen the footage of the Tynecastle where the goalkeeper clears it and as soon as it lands, he back heels it round the Hearts fullback?
Amazing, and
that's ridiculous.
His final act for us was that cross for Hateley in 91 to win the league, and when he hits that cross, the anticipation and the noise of the crowd as Hateley goes to head it, that is one of my favourite moments in football.
Yeah. I mean, I think Mark Walters. I'm certainly not. Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not saying that. I mean, skill-wise, there was very few that were as good as Mark Walters. He could do it with, and the thing was, he could do it with both feet. He wasn't just a right footer or just a left. Mark Walters was as good with a left foot or a right foot, and it was ridiculous how good he was.
And I think that's how Graham Souness preferred him sometimes to Davy Cooper, because he was two-footed. Where Cooper, his right leg was just for standing on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And take my hand away from Davy Cooper, he was my boyhood hero, but you know what I mean? Davy, a lot of players couldn't put a patch in Davy Cooper, and I don't think we'll ever see a left-footed winger like him again.
No, I think you're right. It's a case of, as I say, Mark Walters followed Souness to Liverpool, didn't he? And it was the biggest mistake he ever made.
Yeah.
He never got a game really at Liverpool, did he?
I'm the same as Jason. David Cooper is my boyhood hero. And if we're doing favourite Old Firm moments, my favourite Old Firm pass is his reverse pass to Durant.
86.
I'm not quite sure how he even knows that Durant's there. He must have just saw the run out the corner of his eye before he got the ball. But the quick feet and the reverse pass is world class.
Yeah, and I think the funny thing about that story, excuse me, is Durant absolutely blanked him when he went to celebrate. He ran right past him. It was amazing. He's just gave you this absolute moment where he's gave you one of the best assists you'll ever see, and Davy's waiting to greet you with his open arms, and you sail by him.
As he runs past him, Cooper sort of punches the air. It's almost like he's saying, "Yeah, we swine you." You know, I just laid you right in, and you couldn't give me any love back. But
even if you look at some of Cooper's passes, even not so much as an assist, it was ahead of his time. He was playing a ball into space for people to run into, and it would take players out. And again, you didn't know if Cooper was going to go in the inside or the outside or through you. He was one of the players that he just had the aurora. You just didn't know what to do against him.
Yeah, well, you guys know that I've said that I live with my missus is a Motherwell fan, and her family are Motherwell fans. They think he's amazing too. They love him. Well, they have a stand named after him because when he went to them in his later years, they said he was just top class.
I got to actually see David play at Fir Park because, as you know the story, my mum wouldn't let me go on the supporters bus to Ibrox at the time. But to see your boyhood hero in the flesh and to see what the damage he could do to teams, It was unbelievable. It just was a dream to watch him.
See what's happening now. I'm hoping that if you take Cooper's career up until '86, he'd won league title, and he'd been there for almost a decade. And I really hope that no matter how long it lasts, I hope Tavernier gets one more title this season. You know, for all the efforts he's put in.
Aye.
The teammates around him have not been good enough. I know he gets a lot of stick, right? I know he gets his mentality, but guys like Cooper, even take John Gregg, for example, he had 2 titles in his first, 12 years at Rangers, and then he gets an Indian summer where the team around him gets stronger and maybe Celtic get a bit weaker. And this is what could happen this season, and Tavernier could get another title. And I think it would be just reward for all his efforts for us over the years.
Again, as I've said, Tavernier has been a great player for us, but I think the last couple of seasons has shown he's not got the legs anymore. He's still got the brain. He's got that footballing brain, and as I said, it's like the old boxer. He's still got the brain here. He still knows what he wants to do, but his feet just don't move quick enough, and that's the problem with Tav.
I'm hoping his teammates get him over the line. That's what I'm hoping for.
The one stat I heard yesterday, which I was amazed at, I'm still actually in disbelief. Willie Johnston never won a league with Rangers.
No, he didn't. That's the thing about that era. I've said before that, you know, we love those guys from that era, but from 1964 to 1987, we won 3 league titles in 23 years. So it was not a magnificent time for that, but they did win in Barcelona. So Willie Johnston scored in Barcelona. So there's that moment. Yep. If Tab had scored the winning goal in Seville, then he's no longer a serial loser, as he is called. He would be a goal-scoring winner in Europe. So, and Aldo saying putting Tav in the same sentence as Cooper is sacrilege. I'm just talking about their careers up to the point of, if you get to 1986, David Cooper's been at Rangers for 9 years by that point.
Aye.
He's got 1 league title. So what happened was we got stronger. The people around Cooper got stronger, and allowed him to flourish. And Tav is now over the hill, unfortunately. He's a different player. He's a fullback. But same with John Gregg. He'd lost 10 league titles in a row in the mid-70s. And then I think the tide was turning, and then we got stronger in the mid-70s. And he gets 3 more league titles right at the end of his career when he's, 33, 34 at least, I think. So I would love that for Tav this season, just to get to 2, and then he can probably walk off.
They always say you can win something once is lucky, but twice isn't lucky.
No, and he for me, I always think people don't take into account the context of what he joined. None of these other legends joined Rangers in the Championship. None of them took on what he had to take on as far as the political landscape, the footballing landscape had changed completely in favour of Celtic. Yeah. And none of these legends of the past had to deal with that. The first teams that Tavernier played with were horrendous.
They were shite. They were terrible. They were terrible.
Hopeless. And he had Caixinha as a manager, Graham Murty. And to me, the guy is a legend. He just hasn't won enough to be considered as much as those other guys. That's why I'm hoping that his teammates do the job for him this season, because I don't think he's going to do the job. Because like Jason said, he's just not got the legs. He just can't get there. The heart's there, but the body's not. Yeah,
I think it'd be a nice way for Tavernier to sign off as a Rangers player, wouldn't it? Well, a league title would be nice for him, just to, that would be a perfect way to say goodbye to the club, wouldn't it? He would. Yeah. That would be that for me would be the perfect end. I would hate for him to stay beyond next season and then we don't win the league, and things go, not perfect for us. I'd just like him to go out with a league title and just say, right, thanks, that's my 10 years. I've enjoyed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be a fitting end because the 1 league title they lifted was in an empty stadium. So I would love for Tavernier to have that moment with the Rangers support at Ibrox.
Yeah, I think he did. He certainly deserves it. I think, as you say, one person doesn't make a team. It's what's around you that helps you. And more often than not, it's being a poor, he's been involved in poor teams. They just haven't been good enough, Jason, have they? Is Jason away now as well? Oh, Jason's away. Sorry, that's twice I've just been yapping to myself, multiple man. It's just, gee, that's twice. I thought they were there and they're gone.
They didn't even say goodbye.
No, I know. Well, to be fair, Stephen put in the chat that he was leaving. He did say in the private message that I'm leaving, so that was fine. But no, Jason's just outright left.
Well, that's just not nice.
Oh, tell you. Dougal.
Aldo says that Tav is a serial loser. Well, we'll find out, I suppose, in the split, won't we? But that's why I'm saying it could be that Sterling does the job and Tav gets to lift the trophy.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's very tricky to predict. But I mean, I don't see Sterling playing against Falkirk just purely on the pitch.
No,
so I think that won't be happening. Before we carry on, Spinning Birdfoot, thank you very much for your gifted membership on the Rangers Rabble. Thank you very much, much appreciated. Spinning Bird, absolutely perfect. And we have the Trying Scotsman. Are you here for the duration up to live at 5? No, I am certainly not. No.
I've got a question for you, Brian.
Come on then.
Let's say hypothetically one of Giga or Fernandez was to get a small knock or a suspension, right?
Uh-huh.
Would you rather bring Suter in, or would you rather bring Tav in and put Sterling as a centre half?
Or Tav as a centre half and Sterling right back?
No. I wouldn't do that. I would never. That's not an option to me. So,
okay.
Because Sterling for me is a really good centre half.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking about protecting Tav in the sense that wingers and right back. But if you were going that way, I don't think it would be saying a lot for Suter if you didn't play him, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but do we care about that though?
Well, we shouldn't care about that. Absolutely not. So, in that respect, then it would be Suter, Sterling right back, Sterling centre half, Tav right back.
Because in that scenario, I'd be thinking, well, Sterling can kind of creep over and cover Tav anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But someone also suggested, I don't know who it was, that why not play Cornelius at left back? And I thought that's not a bad shout. That he was quite good as left back, but he seems to be well out of favour, and that's really annoyed me, him doing that, because we need everybody we can get right now. And
it's annoyed me that he's played minutes for Canada.
Yeah, I don't know what his attitude is like, but he needs to get his backside in gear, because we might need him. Magoma might get injured. You know? And if you recall, there was a couple of games earlier on in the season where he did play at left back and he was bombing up on the outside, and he thought, this is quite good, this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was for Russell Martin, actually. Cornelius crossed the ball for us to score at Falkirk, didn't he? From left back.
He did, and I think it was interesting before he went to the Canadian national team that Danny Roll didn't seem particularly pleased that he was going.
No, and there's something's gone on, because that Jesse Marsh said he tried his best to sort of mitigate between the two, but nothing happened, or moderate between the two, but nothing happened.
Yeah, I think it's a definite fall out there.
Well, that's really frustrating, because we need him. I'm not saying he should start, but we never know what's going to happen here. We don't need people causing trouble. So, this is a very tough run-in for us.
Well, it is, yeah. I mean, I think Danny Roll's quite within his rights to be annoyed at Cornelius in the sense that he hasn't kicked the ball for us since October, but he's swanning off and playing friendlies for Canada.
Yeah, and like I was saying there, this run-in for us is so difficult. We are the team that go away from home to the other two challengers, and Celtic have got 2 home games against their 2 rivals, and Hearts have got 1-1, haven't they? So we are the team at the biggest disadvantage, but you would also argue that we are the team with the most form. So can we do that away from home? If you remember, our away form before St Mirren was not great.
No.
So I'd like us to win again on the Sunday, just to prove we're now moving into good away form again. because the two matches at Tynecastle and Parkhead are monumental. The pressure on everybody will be crazy. But if we can, sorry, you go.
I think Rangers fans of a certain age, are nervous for this because they haven't experienced this before, like being a title challenge. This was, I'm not saying this was a regular thing for us growing up, but at least it happened a few times where, like the Aberdeen last day of the season at Ibrox scenario happened. The 2003 title win, the 05 one, the Killie in 2010, was it? 2010?
2011.
Yeah, so, we have experienced these things that have happened that, it's went down to like the last game and we won the league at Dundee at Tannadice as well, last game this season. So, a lot of Rangers fans of a certain age won't have experienced this, the nervousness, the watching everybody's results, watching what's happening, because it's just natural, isn't it?
Well, we're in this position 2 years ago, and we drew that final Old Firm game and then collapsed. Not the final Old Firm game, the second last one, but it was quite late on. I think when we drew with Celtic, it was like there was 7 games to go.
Yeah,
we were level, and then we dropped 5 points straight away. Mm-hmm. So we've got to guard against that kind of collapse. We don't want that happening again. But see if it gets deep into the split, that's when the younger fans won't have experienced it. If there's like 2 games to go and we're still there, watching those games will just become hiding behind the couch kind of stuff.
The pressure cooker will be full on then, won't it?
One of my favourites, you mentioned it, the Kilmarnock game. You're tuning in going, this is a tough away game and Celtic are at home, we need to be careful. And then it's like 7 minutes later, champion!
It was all done, yeah. It was amazing. It was. I think the Dundee United one was pretty similar. Going up to Tannadice, Lafferty scored first, and then Mendes scored the second, and all of a sudden, you were thinking it was going to be a tough afternoon, and all of a sudden, it was pretty easy.
Yeah, and that's where you want to be. If it's going to be a last day, you want it to be in your hands, don't you? None of this. I know you mentioned how great Helicopter Sunday was, but you don't want to be in that position, really.
No, you don't want to be in a position. But if the outcome happens like that, it's great.
Yeah, but how often are Motherwell going to beat Celtic in the last day of the season like that? So you must have been standing in the stand going, it's all over.
Oh, yeah. We were so close to just thinking, right, we're not staying here to, we're just, we're not staying here to, because I think at the time Hibs were in Europe, they'd qualified, so they weren't interested in like trying to score.
Yeah.
We weren't interested in trying to score because 1-0 was enough for us. So the last 10 minutes basically became a non-event, and everybody was there was a guy behind us with a radio, and everybody was nobody watched the game in the last 10 minutes. It was all just on this guy with the radio wondering what was happening, and everybody like, oh well, I'll give it another minute. If nothing happens, we're going home. And all of a sudden, the wee man just shouts out, "Motherwell scored!" Well, that was it. The place just went nuts.
His face must have been a picture. As the commentator said, something like, I don't know what he said, but there's McDonald with a shot or something. He must have, his eyes must have bulged out almost like a cartoon character.
Honestly, if my eyes could have taken a picture, I'd love to have seen that guy's face when he announced it. I really would have.
And were you guys even aware that it was 2-1 to Motherwell? Did you think it was the final whistle for the second roar?
No, the guy behind us on the radio, he said Motherwell scored the first time, and then he was on the radio again, and he's listening. But we're all calming. Well, no, we're not calming down, but we're all sort of like trying to settle down because we realise things have changed. And then he turns around and he says, "Oh, Motherwell's on the attack," and he shouted. I distinctly remember this. He shouted out, "Motherwell scored again." So it wasn't a case of it's full time. He said Motherwell scored again. Well, as soon as he said that, we all lost the plot because we're like, well, they needed 2 then. So we all knew it was done then. It was just the difference from 86, 87 minutes thinking, right, I'm not staying around to watch this, Celtic, well, not Celtic Park, but, I'm not staying around for this. And then all of a sudden you're in absolute pure ecstasy. It's the biggest sort of 180 I've ever had in my life, going from one extreme to another. It's just never had anything like it in my life, and I doubt I ever will.
And see at the ground. I mean, I know myself. I was listening to it on the radio that because we're so used to Celtic scoring late goals, when Motherwell equalised, did you all go? They'll go up the park and score.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody said that.
Yeah, you just think it, don't you? And but when you actually see the highlights, they'd lost the plot. They've got no defenders left. They've just thrown everybody forward, and Motherwell are breaking like 3-on-1, I think it is. So yeah.
It was just the sort of the thought of the boogeyman coming back again, and getting a last minute goal. You were just thinking, we've seen this movie before, but no, Motherwell just hit this. I think it was Richie Foran. I think just launched this ball up the Fir Park, and Scott McDonald. I mean, he could have passed out about 2 or 3 guys, but no, he just went on his own, had a wee run, and popped it in the far corner, and that was it. And I think just the fact that they'd. I mean, I would. It's the fact that they've went from an extreme high to they've done the opposite from us.
Yeah,
I'd hate to have experienced that. I would hate to have experienced that.
Oh, that would have been horrendous. And he is without doubt the Celtic player who's given the Rangers fans the greatest joy. Probably maybe him and Mo Johnston.
Mm-hmm.
But that moment is almost untouchable in my life as watching Rangers. I think maybe the only moments that come close are Fiorentina and Leipzig.
Yeah, I think the other one you could probably throw into that mix is Aribo scoring in Seville for that 10 minutes.
Oh my Lord, that was amazing.
You genuinely thought we could, that before Eintracht Frankfurt equalised, you were genuinely thinking this could be it.
Oh, I thought we were going to win it. As you say, that moment when that guy it was like a defender backflipped, it wasn't it? And you suddenly realised, you realise Aribo's in. Just there's a few seconds where you're like, for me, you're sort of rising up off the chair in the living room. You're like, oh, he's going to score, and then when he scored, it was just amazing.
Mental.
But I was just talking about actual matches where the outcome was favourable. So, Helicopter Sunday in Florence and Leipzig, because when Nacho and Ovo scored that penalty, that was amazing.
Yeah. I sort of think Ibrox, atmosphere-wise, I think Leipzig's going to take some beating. I've experienced a lot of highs, as I say, the Easter Road one and places like that, but that one is going to take some beating over the years. I don't know who would be playing or what, but I think it was just purely for the occasion, in the sense that it was the semi-final. It got you into the final. I think it was everything built into that, wasn't it? And then the players, the music afterwards, the 10 minutes Ibrox after the full time, and the videos you watch back. It's just I think it's something it's going to be extremely hard to repeat.
Yeah, and if you think about that whole week, Jimmy Bell died that week, didn't he? So there was this sort of special atmosphere that night, and I got the feeling, again, I wasn't there, you were there, so was there a sort of feeling of, we will do this? It just seemed to be that in the air, it just like, we're going to do this. And for me, the way we played that night and the way the atmosphere was, I think only your top European elite clubs beat us that night.
Yeah, I think it was very much like the Braga game before. It was almost like we're not going to be denied this.
No,
we're going to win this, and the confidence in that team, particularly. I mean, that goal. I've always lauded this goal since ever since it happened. The Glenn Kamara goal. I mean, dear me, that is a finish and a half.
Beautiful. Yeah,
just like poetry in motion, wasn't it? It was like as soon as he hit it, you were like. It felt like it was in slow motion, but you were like, "That's going in. That's going in."
Which part of the ground were you in that night?
I'm right above the away fans. So the Governorship.
In the Governorship, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm basically like my eyes are right down the 18-yard line and the goalposts.
I just felt that there was not, as you say, there was nothing going to stop us that night, and we beat Dortmund. I think almost, as I say, almost any club up till you get to your Liverpools and your Real Madrids, any of the sort of teams just below that bracket would have struggled with us that night because of the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, I think, it was the perfect storm. The atmosphere, the players, everything just seemed to come at the right time, didn't it? It was just all. It was as they keep saying, as the film is the perfect storm. It was just perfect, wasn't it? Everything was just written in the stars, almost.
Yeah, and we'd started this song, and then the guy that had the song scored the winning goal, and I genuinely thought it was our year. So that shows you what you think. You get these feelings that we're going to do it, and then turns out you don't.
Yeah, I know. But see if I can't remember who said it. Somebody said it on one of the pods, and it says the players need to see like Steven Gerrard arriving at Ibrox after they won the league. Remember Gerrard driving through all the people trying to get to Ibrox.
Yeah.
Players need to watch that video and think, "Do you want a bit of this?"
Yeah, in my mind, I'm desperate to see our players. Let's say we win the league away from home, come back to Edmiston House, and like Clermont did on that balcony on Edmiston House, and just Ibrox, the streets around Ibrox are just filled with people.
Yep.
And the manager and the players come out on that balcony. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest for me when you see that video with Gerrard, I mean, I think even with his Liverpool background and the fans that they have at Liverpool, I think even he was blown away by the fact that he couldn't. I mean, that was at a time as well when it was COVID. You couldn't do anything. You know what I mean?
No. Can I see in the comments there that Spinning says he's from Drumchapel originally? Can I ask him whereabouts? Because that's where I'm from.
What street are you from?
What street are you from? What gang we in?
No, good, clean fight, boys. Nice clean fight. No, but that's one thing I'm hoping the players watch. I mean, I know it's difficult to sort of predict and win games and stuff like that, but that's what's waiting at the end of the season for them, isn't it, Malcolm? On that's what's potentially waiting for them in the sense that they'll all be lauded and hero worship for many a year.
Yeah, and that video with Mikey Moore talking about you don't understand what it's like till you get here, how massive it is. Well, the thing to say to Mikey is you ain't seen nothing yet. You haven't won anything yet. If you win the league in front of fans for the first time since 2011, as you say, it's going to be hero worship on another scale. And these guys they could be carried shoulder high into the ground as they get off the bus. We're so desperate to win the league again, and I really think it's on, and I think we're going to do it.
There you go, Marytown Avenue.
Yeah.
I
think that's not too far from where I was.
Is that the good side of Drum or is that the bad side of Drum?
There isn't a good side of Drum.
Terrible thing to say.
He'll need to correct me if I'm wrong here. Meriton, I think, close to Southdean, which is where my grandmother stayed.
Oh, right. I mean, no drams in this now. It's too early in the day for that nonsense. What is it just now? 12:30? No, yet. No, too early. Too early for that stuff. But are you at least encouraged by what you've been seeing in the last few weeks in the sense that the team seem to, it doesn't matter how many the opposition are going to score, we're just going to score more?
I am. I don't know if everybody else is the same, but I'm concerned by these injuries to Nadiri and Romans because I think they have been crucial to our sort of resurgence in the league. And I thought Nadiri was great as a number 9 on Saturday. I mean, if you look at his game, he's scored the first. He's had a big hand in the second, but that really clever move. The Dundee United guys were all setting up for the throw-in, weren't they? And he ran along the byline. That created the second goal. and he's laid on Asgard for a tap in, which Asgard didn't tap in as well. That was beautiful movement as a striker. And then apparently he gets injured, and Danny Rule said he's not okay. He's not okay. So that means we're back to probably on Sunday a front three of Moore, Chermiti, and Gassama, which hasn't worked this season. It was quite good in the second half on Saturday, but that is as substitutes. We're talking about when they start games together. Those three do not do well as a partnership, and I would be tempted to not do that just to avoid it. I'd be thinking Miovski. I think Miovski's starting to put the ball in the net. Because that goal against Aberdeen, I'm counting that as a goal. I can't believe that was chopped off. But it shows you his finishing. He put it in the net, and he put the one on Saturday in the net. So
I'm starting to think Miovski should be given a bit more game time now. I think the manager might have stumbled on he might have stumbled on Miovski at the right time.
Maybe, and somebody said there, Gassama's better as an impact player. He totally is. But I've got a funny feeling he's going to start on Sunday, and I think it'd be the wrong move.
I think it would. It's again, I'm just kind of hoping that it's tweaks here and there rather than sort of wholesale changes. I don't like this. Every team's different, like not massively different, but I appreciate that you have to keep some form of continuity. And I realise they're doing this game management stuff, but when it's week to week, Malcolm, there's no need to rest players.
No, it's just that right hand side is concerning because Mikey Moore's on the left, isn't he? That's it.
Yeah.
And he did he? Would you say at the weekend he was using Asgard as a sort of second striker?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me.
But he was also dropping into sort of deep positions. I couldn't really work out what Asgard was doing. He was all over the place, which maybe that was the plan.
Maybe he was just told, just do what you want, free roll,
and it worked. So some people were saying I think you guys were saying he's an Ibrox player, but he's on form. You've got to play him at the weekend. Because to me, when people talk about Skov Olsen, Asgard at the weekend was the opposite of Skov Olsen. That's why I gave him credit. Even if Asgard's stuff wasn't working, he was willing to take people on and go for it. Whereas we all criticise Skov Olsen because he plays safe. But I know for a fact that at the weekend, if Asgard plays and he has one of those bad games, he will be getting absolutely roasted in the comments because he's one of those guys. He hasn't got enough love in the bank, does he? He has to keep playing well to keep the vultures away. So it's going to be tough for him. But I've been putting my money on him to be the Kyle Lafferty type guy to suddenly hit form. And Ian's saying his performance has been overrated. Maybe it has, but he affected the game.
Yeah.
So that nobody can say he didn't. He did. He affected the game. And if he keeps doing that, then he's got to stay in the team because he's doing it more than Skov Olsen and he's doing it more than Gassama has as a starter. But the problem is for Rule is that Gassama could legitimately go to his door and say, I was really good for a whole half on Saturday. I deserve a shot. And he might.
Maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, as Wolf said yesterday, and Volk have said today yourself probably, we've just got to take these games in the split and just, whatever way they fall, we've just got to deal with them, haven't we?
Yeah, and I've got a funny feeling. I know you guys have been discussing, and it's weird discussing something that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But if I was setting up the fixtures, if I was a Celtic-minded person, I'd be looking to put Rangers at Tynecastle and Parkhead first two games to try and knock us out the title race.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the mindset that would mean. But we'd have two away, home. Then we'd end up playing either two away, two home, one away because they won't win us at Ibrox.
No, but they could do two away, two home, and then finish away from home. They could do that.
Yeah, they could.
But I just think we know that they're going to send us to Parkhead early. They're not going to leave that till the end.
No,
it's just what they do with the Tynecastle game.
Yes.
Do they put that close to the Parkhead game? Which I've got a funny feeling they will.
Well, as I say, I reckon they're going to do us Hibs at home and then Celtic away and Hearts away, back to back.
What they should be thinking is to get the three main contenders all play one another. They should probably get those out of the way in the first three to avoid any sort of old firm shenanigans. Because let's face it, if we lost at Parkhead and had lost at Falkirk, we'll be demanding that we let Hearts win.
Anything's possible.
And we know that they did this with Aberdeen a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
If we take them out at Parkhead and it's between us and Hearts, they'll let Hearts win. Parkhead. They'll say they won't, and they'll pretend to play, but they'll just lose 2-1 or something like that. And it'll just be they'll just not do it properly.
I remember that game vividly when Celtic were playing Aberdeen, and I remember I turned around to somebody the day before, or the day of the game, and I says, the easiest bet today is Aberdeen winning at Parkhead. And they're like, we've not won there for X amount of years. I says, yes, but the very fact that if you guys win, you get second and we get third, I says, it's the easiest bet ever. And what happened?
Yeah. And even if it's not deliberate, it's just a mindset. You know, if you're out the title race, you just don't want it anymore, and Hearts do. And the only thing is, they might get pressure from above to say, we need second place for the Champions League. So there is still that little factor that might stop them doing that. But I think the demand from the support would be, do not let Rangers win the title, so give Hearts the 3 points.
Absolutely.
The flip side to this, if you want to look at it positively, is if we go there early, Hibs and Parkhead and Tynecastle, and win both, it's over.
Well, yeah. I mean that's the sort of carrot that's dangling in front of them, isn't it? If they go to Celtic and then go to Tynecastle and turn them both over, all of a sudden that landscape's completely changed.
If we do that, the confidence through the team would see us just run right over the top of the other three. Hibs, Motherwell, Falkirk. No one would stand in our way if we do that.
No. And I mean, I was just looking yesterday actually at the odds. The current odds currently are Rangers are evens at Celtic 2-1, Hearts 5-2.
So Hearts are the outsiders?
Yes.
It's probably fair when you look at the form, but they're still top of the league. So, and we're going to be third on Sunday probably.
Well, yeah, I'm fully prepared for that. I really am. Just because Celtic are at home to St Mirren and Hearts are at home to Motherwell. So, yeah. Although Motherwell might, I mean, you never know with this Motherwell team. They're a bit hot and cold, aren't they?
Yeah, they've not been playing well recently, but neither have Hearts. So it's going to be a tough game for Hearts. St Mirren have picked up, but they'll probably lose at Parkhead.
Yeah, I think whoever finishes above Celtic wins the league, as Ian says, though.
Yeah, so Celtic will win on Saturday, and that puts us third place. So Falkirk just became even harder. The only difference is if Hearts don't win, then we're going to Falkirk to go from third to first.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's a massive carrot, isn't it? It's like you can now take charge right before the split. Here's your chance. You know, that would be some opportunity, and it's going to be really difficult. They're playing well. Another plastic pitch. If we, I almost feel like this game will tell us everything. If we go into Falkirk and win, you just feel like we're starting to look like a team that might win the title.
Yeah. So, it's just great to be speaking about this sort of scenario, isn't it? I mean, because it's for so long we've nowhere near it, and we've flattered to deceive and then failed at the last hurdle. But it's just so nice to be speaking about it like this, isn't it?
Yeah, because we were all so far down in the dumps in October it was, saying about here goes another season down the drain. All we're looking at is the cups and all that, and who could have thought what would happen? You know, that Celtic pivoted to an unknown guy from North America, which was one of the greatest decisions in the history of football.
Wow.
And they basically said, "We're opening the door for you. Can you walk through it?" And so far, we have.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you would argue that we opened the door for them at the start of the season by appointing a total clown ourselves. And here we are. Suddenly, it's in our hands with 6 games to go. I think, no matter how tough the running is, right, we're looking at it going, it's 2 hard away games at Parkhead and Tynecastle. If you offered any of us this position when Russell Martin was at Falkirk, we'd all have taken it.
Oh, well, if anybody said that to us after the Falkirk game where Russell Martin got sacked after it, we'd have all thought you were off your head.
Yeah. I think I saw the table, was it after the Stevie Smith game against Dundee United, we were 6th place, we're 13 behind Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's 1. So, and
Quite
not only
amazing.
that, we fell 6 behind them only a few weeks ago after our 2 draws. So we've clawed back another 5 points in the last, 2-3 weeks. So we're right there. And with them only being a point in front, as I say, they've allowed us now the opportunity to win 5 and draw at Parkhead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the title will be ours.
I mean, there's nothing stopping them doing the split now because the top 6 is decided. So, you know, if they really wanted to get on the front foot and market it, then they could do it now, couldn't they?
Well, they could, but they're probably scratching their heads trying to work out how the hell they get around all the permutations. Because, like I said earlier, they're going to have to give Hearts 2 extra home games.
Mm-hmm.
And what they always seem to forget is that by sending us away to a team for the 3rd time, these teams are in the top 6 because they're good sides. Mm-hmm. These are the teams that have been playing well all season. So you're giving a team who's going for the title a massive disadvantage to say, off you go to Fir Park for the 3rd time this season. You know, it's like, you do realise that they've been in the title race up until the last few weeks, and they're going to say to Hibs, go to Tynecastle for a 3rd time, and they're trying to they're right behind Motherwell now, Hibs. Yeah. I think people haven't noticed that, but they're only like 3 points behind Motherwell. So
they've just snuck up on them, haven't they?
So David Gray could turn around and say to the SPL, or who does it, the SPL or the SFA, why am I going to Tynecastle for a 3rd time? I'm in a battle here with Motherwell. This is shocking.
Hibs all have Hearts at home.
Well, that's what I mean. If they actually do that, then that means they're forcing them to have Falkirk and Motherwell go to Tynecastle 3 times.
Yeah, because there's no way they're going to have 3 derbies at Tynecastle and 1 at Hibs. The Hibs won't stand for that.
Well, that means you're locking in Rangers, Celtic, and Hibs for Hearts as that's their games set. Then that means Falkirk and Motherwell are going to Tynecastle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then, of course, Motherwell could turn around and say that's not right. Hibs could get a benefit from that.
Yeah. I mean, it would almost be like the last game of the Old Firm. We're having it at Ibrox. That's just not going to happen, is it?
No, that's why I don't like the split, because the rules are not the same for everybody.
No.
If you're going to treat everybody the same, then you would have to do that to Rangers and Celtic once in a while.
It's an unwritten rule, isn't it?
Yeah, they would never do it. Never. So
it's almost like a rule that's written, but nobody's got it in the rules, if you know what I mean.
Well, I think I've read somewhere that they try and make it your 3rd game against a team in 6th place or 5th place.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say, for example, if we'd stayed with Russell Martin and finished 6th, they wouldn't make Celtic go to Ibrox a 3rd time.
That's what I'm saying. So
no.
they adapt the rules to suit.
Yeah, basically to benefit the Old Firm in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
But this season has thrown up all the problems of the split because there are more teams involved at the top.
And it's not a split like the Belgian league.
No. I think the way they do it is quite interesting, but it's a bit crazy as well.
Oh, it's mental. They split it into 3 different ways, don't they?
Yeah, I think they are doing away with it next season. I'm not sure if that's right. But yeah, I just when the fixtures come out, I think we're going to be furious, and Celtic and Hearts will be quite happy. That's I think is going to happen. In fact, I think basically Celtic and Hearts will be happy, and the other four will be raging.
Yeah, and I'm getting into that sort of mode of I'm expecting the worst.
Yeah.
So at least when it comes along, I'm not disappointed or annoyed because that's what I was expecting.
Because if you turn around and say to us, you need to go to Tynecastle, Parkhead, and Fir Park and win all three, that is a massive ask this season.
I'm just going full like worst scenario in the sense of doing that. That's the only thing that I'm doing it. That's the only reason I'm doing it is that's the worst case scenario, and if it comes, then I can kind of say, well, I expected it.
Yeah, and Sean is saying can guarantee a decision will go against us and not for us in the split. I think we've all just become programmed that there's going to be some wacky VAR shenanigans going on. Something will happen at Parkhead where we'll be denied a goal, and you'll just think, why have we been denied a goal?
Yeah. I mean, it's. I think some of the shenanigans that has happened, this season especially. Is it 20 goals we've had disallowed now?
Yeah, and see yesterday with that the goal that Celtic scored in the first half yesterday, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have. I know what you're going to say.
They showed a replay right about 5-10 minutes after it where the guy Nygren touched it onto Yang's boot as it went in the net. Now, he was onside by millimetres, right? He was onside. But let's say, hypothetically, Nygren's touched it and Yang's boot was just ahead of the ball and clipped it as it went in the net and he was offside. I get a funny feeling that VAR didn't check that.
Well, I seen the replay and it was funny. The commentator did say, it looked as though Yang got a nick at the end, or did Nygren get the nick? And then they discovered, they says, Yang got a touch at the very end of Nygren's boot, and nobody kind of went, is that offside then? Nobody picked up on that.
I rewound it a couple of times. Like, he is just behind the ball, right? So he is onside. But I'd like to hear the audio to see if they checked that, because if they didn't, then they got lucky. If they didn't check it and his boot was just ahead of the ball, he'd have been offside and they missed it. And it was.
I think the only thing they checked for was
fractionally onside.
Yeah, I think the only thing they checked for was the cross from the wide for the initial offside. I think that was it.
Yeah. I didn't quite understand why that took so long. There was clearly a Dundee guy in the far side, deeper.
I know. That's the thing with this VAR, right? They seem to the difficult decisions. They seem to get over and done with very quickly, but the straightforward ones, you're like, well, even a man from the moon with a telescope could see that's not offside. Why are you taking so long? Just get on with it. It's just it's just the way they go about things just baffles me so much.
Yeah, and you can't help but wonder what's going to happen to us. But we've just got to try and find a way through it, haven't we? And
yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've overcame quite a lot this season. As I say, the goals, the chopped off goals and decisions. So we've just got to knuckle down, take the games as they come, and deal with them.
There was some on Saturday. I thought the Asgard booking was terrible. There was another one where Giga stepped out in defence and won a tackle, clean as a whistle, and free kick given. Yeah. And I think Maurice Ross said it right on commentary on Rangers TV. There was one in the second half where Gassama burst through midfield and the guy just kicked him. I just booted him, but Gassama stumbled, kept running, and then played the ball through. And I think Maurice Ross was saying, "Go back and book the guy, right? Come on!" And he didn't do it. Didn't even speak to him, and that kind of stuff does your head in, because we complain about our players get booked early and it puts them on the back foot.
Yeah,
we want to see more of that for the other teams. Yeah. So, but I don't really like moaning about refs too much, because most of the time you can sort things out yourself.
Yeah, and I think, as I keep saying, just apply the rules as you see. Don't try and make things up, or say that something's happened when it hasn't. VAR's there for a reason, It should only be there for me if a referee's unsure of a decision, or he's needing a little bit of help because the angle wasn't correct. I think the referees should be more proactive in the sense that when something happens, the referee actually says to the VAR, "Look, I've seen this. I believe this is the case." Like the rugby do with the TMO. The referee initiates the VAR, not the other way around.
Yeah, I've actually advocated for a challenge system like in cricket, but I don't know if that would work.
No,
and I think we're all so used to VAR now that we'd be raging if it wasn't there. See if they took it away and then the first Old Firm game, and it was a massive mistake, we'd be going crazy wanting VAR back probably. But I thought that one of the biggest examples of a referee relying on VAR was that Mikey Moore incident at Livingston, because that referee decided not to make any decision. It was clearly a free kick. Whether it's a penalty or a free kick, I don't know. But for him, he has to give a foul.
Yeah.
And because he didn't give anything, we ended up getting punished. So it was ridiculous. He just went, "Oh, that was close. I'll just not bother. I'll just let VAR check it for me."
Aldo's just jumped in quickly. Aldo, how are you doing? Sorry about that.
Oh, not bad, mate. She's sitting for about fucking 3/4 an hour.
No.
Listen to Multiman's fish, man.
I can't hear Aldo.
Oh, can you not hear him? Oh,
Nope.
Maybe it's this.
That's a bonus, then. That's a bonus, isn't it?
He said that's a bonus on Multiman.
It's a what?
He says it's a bonus. You can't hear him.
I can hear him all, man.
He can hear you.
Right.
Sometimes when you bring other people in, or even when Martin does it, my sound goes funny.
You've said that in the past, haven't you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me, big man?
I can hear you perfect, yep.
Multiman?
Nope.
Fucking ball bag. He's a good man. He's a good man. No, I was obviously I saw the other band, but we were talking about legends and that, right? And it's probably a way of scope of what we're talking about now. But like I said, David Cooper.
Yeah.
Legend. I'm thinking about it, man. I was going to say, man. I can't think, man.
Take your time. There's no rush.
I've just lost it, man. I've just lost it.
Don't worry. It's fine. I mean,
I couldn't say Neil. I can't say on Neil McCann because I think everybody who knows me knows I used to play football with Neil McCann.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't like him because he played for St. Stephen's High School. And I think Martin didn't believe me when I says St. Stephen's High School versus Port Glasgow High School.
That's right, yeah.
Port Glasgow. And we used to play and see Neil McCann. He used to rip me for fucking arse paper.
Just for Multiple Man's benefit, Aldo's saying that McCann, when he played for Port Glasgow School, used to tear Aldo a new one.
Yeah.
What, Neil McCann?
Yeah.
Well, he was a very, very good left winger, wasn't he? So
yes, he was a good left winger. Absolutely.
He played right wing as well.
Fullback?
I was a left back.
Multiple Man's asking what position you played.
I played left back.
Oh, you played left back. Oh, you played
Neil
left back.
Neil McCann.
McCann was playing like an inverted winger then.
No, Neil McCann played anywhere.
Oh, he played anywhere. McCann.
He was so good.
Yeah, I suppose at that age, a guy of his level probably would play across the forward line.
14, 15, 16.
Yeah, 14, 15, 16. He said he played against him.
Anywhere. That was when he went to Dundee.
Yeah, he was a great player for us.
Yeah, and Aldo's saying he went to Dundee after leaving school.
Yeah,
14.
He was a a guy who you could rely on for a wonderful cross.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
You don't get that kind of winger much anymore. A guy who plays in the left and goes to the left and then whips it, do you? They were fantastic crosses.
No, I think Aldo, the old style wingers have just went out of fashion, haven't they?
I was going to say something. I can't remember. David Cooper was why I played left. David Cooper, when I was 10, 11 in primary school, I watched David Cooper 86, 85, 86. And David Cooper, left foot, man. That's why I'm left footed myself.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an absolute genius with the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Aldo's just multiple man that he was
Can
left
I not hear me now?
No, he can't hear you. No, I'm
ball bag, well, he's a ball bag.
Excuse me.
Hey.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I went to refresh and actually it's triggered.
You can hear me, Mo. Sorry, big man.
I can hear Aldo now.
Right, sorry, big man. Right, you're not a ball bag. Right, you're not a ball bag, big man. sorry, man. But David Cooper.
He was a genius and probably the death of a Rangers player that hurt us the most.
Oh, 100%, mate. I cried at a baby, man.
Yeah.
I was working at a butcher's at the time when it came through the news at 12:30 that David Cooper had passed, and I just cried.
I know.
Like baby, man. I was like, wow. First time.
He was making that programs with Charlie Nichols, wasn't he? Yes,
mate. Yeah. Was it not Motherwell somewhere? Was it?
Oh,
it was somewhere else.
I think it might have been Broadwood.
Aye.
I don't know if Broadwood was there at the time, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if it was Broadwood. It was Motherwell. It was at Motherwell.
It was definitely a plastic pitch because I remember watching it.
Yeah.
It was Astro. The old style Astro, not the current.
Saddest day of my life.
I know. Dreadful. It really was dreadful.
But I was going to say something else about. I was thinking about multiple man says earlier on about something, and I'm trying to think. It's about. I can't remember. He's not happy with some of the Rangers right now.
Well,
I'm not happy. Me?
Multiple, aye.
Oh, who's that? Oh, Suter.
Oh, we're not happy with Suter. Nobody's happy with Suter. I think multiple man says something about one of the wingers, or.
I'm not the biggest fan of Gassama starting games. I'd rather he came off the bench.
I agree with that, mate. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
I think that's what it was.
Well, I'm not 100% sure. I've said Gassama is the best of a man's team.
Yes. Yes.
Apart from he comes on as a sub. If he comes on as a sub, he's alright, man.
Yes. Yeah, he absolutely is.
Yeah,
there we go.
He was brilliant as a sub on Saturday.
He did say he played very, very well, man.
I know, but it's amazing. Like, remember David Fairclough at Liverpool, multiple man.
Yeah, I only know the stories of him scoring against St Etienne. I never saw the guy. But
he whenever he started a game, he never scored. When he came on as a sub, he always scored.
Probably my era would be more Solskjaer at Man United.
Yeah. What do you mean my era? Well, I'm the same era as you.
Right, I've seen Ian Thompson. Ian Thompson saying he must have ripped me apart at left back in Park Lane. Who did Ian Thompson play for then?
Oh, some.
Yeah, have you seen it? Right, I've seen it, man. Ian,
I have seen it.
Who did you play for? Because you definitely didn't play for. I want to hear who Ian played for.
You'd have played with some.
I played for Port Boys.
He'd have played with some mob from Dunoon. They wouldn't have been very good.
No, right, I want to hear who he played for, because I played for Fort Boys. I'm 51. Ian must be about my age. Dunoon ladies.
Dunoon ladies, that's probably right, yeah.
So far. Port Glasgow Rangers.
And Morton supporters, but older than you.
Well, it
Ian's in
must
the
be
60s.
So he must have played with Big Hoppy, and he must have played with Hoppy.
Could have.
No,
But David Hopkins.
Did you play for Hoppy? He didn't play with Hoppy and Stalker. And Stalker was actually a better player than fucking Hoppy, to be honest with you.
David Tierney and Paul Hughes, he's saying.
Nah, fucking bullshit, man. They're pish. It's absolute bullshit. That's absolutely. They play for the Port Rangers. He must have played with David Hopkins and David Hopkins. David Hopkins. David Stalker and Chris Tracy.
Oh well. Unless
guys.
Unless Ian is forthcoming for that information, we'll have to wait for Thompson's Tuesdays, because he is actually on his own show this week, folks. He is actually on his show.
No way, he can't be.
Chris.
I remember Stalker Chris. Yeah, so he does. He's kidding on now. I mean, he's fucking buffing it, man. Ask him. Well, Ian, why did Stalker and Chris not make it at Morton? There you go.
Okay. Tinfoil Tuesday, Brian, absolutely. It'll be tinfoil hat on Tuesday, absolutely. The big man is back on Tuesday, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, boys, we'll call it a day there. We're just shy of 3 hours, so...
sorry, big man. Sorry for...
You're all right, don't worry. No.
It's not fun games, but Ian needs to tell me how he knows Stalker, Chris Tracy, and quite a few other boys who went to a party down in Ayrshire, and Alan McGraw did not accept.
Aldo, were you the guy that used to hold the magic sponge? Ian's asking.
I fucking wish, mate. I fucking wish. I just went to Rangers games, mate. I fucking didn't want to go to Morton,
No.
All the boys were fucking super players. All the boys were super players, man.
Yeah. Well, I never played with anybody famous at football when I was a boy, but I did kick a ball about in the park with a young James McAvoy.
Oh, did you?
No, see, Muckle, I used to play with Hoppy.
Mm-hmm.
As a boy, played for Scotland, wasn't it, David Hopkins?
Yes, mate. Neil McCann. I've told you about Neil McCann. Neil McCann raped me fucking every fucking week of the day, man. He was too good. And that was as a kid. I was a kid. And then when I went to 14, this is true. When we went to 14, he couldn't play football in St. Stephen's High School, where we used to play, because he done this form with Dundee. And he was so good. He got to Dundee. He went to Hearts. He went to Rangers. See all the stories you hear about what his family went through when he was signed for Rangers? It's all a load of shite. Trust me. His father got his windows tanned in. He got his Lada car. He had a Lada, a wee mad Lada car. I get smashed. But after about 2 years, everything was
calmed down.
Okay. His brother got done for doing drugs. Eddie McCann. He got done for doing drugs.
Yeah.
He was an absolute knob. But he was my best mate.
Yeah. Quick question for you both. Off my nut. I think that's what off my nut. After the fellow Bears, quick question here. Not just because it was Celtic, but the handball for Dundee's penalty, should that have not been a red card?
I didn't see it, mate. Don't watch games.
No.
I don't watch other games, mate. I only watch Rangers.
Yeah.
For me,
sorry,
no.
mate. I don't watch other games.
For me, no. No, I think it has to be deliberate for it to be a red card. I don't think it's
Who was it?
His arm's outstretched and it's a penalty, and that's it.
Yeah.
The Celtic Dundee?
Yes.
I didn't see it. I'll be honest. I didn't see it. No. I don't watch other games. I just watch this.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people like that. They watch their own team and that's it.
Mm.
It's hard enough sometimes.
I'm sorry for calling in again, man, but
no, you're all right. Don't worry. It's fine.
Just wanted to make my point about David Cooper and Neil McCann. Fucking, as I say, people don't believe I played football with Neil McCann.
Oh well.
And St Stephen's, people, because I said St Stephen's, people, I'm going to check where St Stephen's. St Stephen's is more Port Glasgow. It's just about 40 yards from where Port Glasgow High School used to be, and we used to have hundreds of fights between the two schools, but we used to play football together all the time. And now, unfortunately, St Stephen's High School is now fucking
careful.
It's sorry for swearing. Sorry for swearing. Right. No, it's just hundreds of housing. It's a housing estate now. It's a housing estate now. If anybody from Port Glasgow is here, they will know. St Stephen's is a housing estate now, which is pure garbage. Because I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved Port Glasgow High School. Port Glasgow High School was up the top of the hill. St Stephen's was the bottom of the hill. And we had a good scrap. And we had a great game of football. We had a great game of football as well. We always played fucking good football. But unfortunately, you had Neil McCann, who was just too good. And he couldn't play football because he was too good.
Yeah. Are you all out of chat, multiple man? Is that you for the afternoon?
I don't know if you noticed that I dipped off and came back in there. Because if you remember, I said that I'd escaped the missus and the two kids. That was the missus phoning to say, "Where the hell are you?" I'm on a world record-setting podcast here, and you've just stopped me saying cheerio.
Well, I don't want to upset Mrs. Multiple Man, so I'll let you go.
That's all right. I'm an expert at that.
Well, thank you for joining me today, Multiple Man. Pleasure as always.
Thank you, and Aldo, all the best, mate.
All the best, Multiple. Fucking good listening to you, mate. Good talking to you, mate.
Brilliant, mate. See you later.
Right. Take care, buddy. Take care, mate.
Right, see you later, Aldo. Take it easy.
Right, Brian. See you later, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
No, you're all right. See you later.
Thank you, mate. See you later, buddy. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh, there we go, folks. 3 hours, 3 minutes. Just see when you're enjoying yourself and you're just yapping. It's great, isn't it? We can just keep going and going and going. It's great. But no, I think 3 hours is enough. I don't want to hear any more this hour. That was 3 hours. So 2 people called twice. Ramy had to actually plug his phone in because it ran out of battery. So, but yeah, this is the thing. When you're enjoying yourself, you can just go on and on and on. We're covering everything, so you know what I mean. I'm happy as long as there's people here at phone. I'll carry on speaking. So we win the league, multiple man. That could be that could be messy, very messy. So Gallant, I'm not sure that. Cheevers. Not showing that. Oh, Joe. Crikey's me. Oh, dear goodness. No, but as I say, folks, I'll always sit here as long as there's people to yap. I'll always keep you entertained and keep the chat going. There's always people obviously wanting to chat as well, so that helps. Chris, Michael, Aldo, Multiple Man, Stephen, Jason. I think that was it, wasn't it? I don't think I've missed anybody. No, I don't think I have. I think I've got everybody, but no, I appreciate everybody for phoning in. That's what makes this. This is what it's for you guys to phone in and get your get your opinions across. So that's what it's all about. As I say, I'll sit here as long as there's people to speak. So I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back tonight at live at 5. I'm not sure what the lineup is quite yet. It's going to be. There's going to be a live at 5. That's all we need to know. And then at 7:30, it's the member show with Ian Hamish hosting with Kieran and Callum. That is tonight. And then also, I'd be remiss of me and I would probably get battered for it. Ian has the Rabble Wrestling on at 9 p.m. tonight. So that is all on today. So tune in, get your notifications on. Hit the like button if you can. Give this a thumbs up as well. As I say, that was a really good podcast, really good chats. We covered everything. We went from present stuff to back in the day, back to present. You know, we went all around the houses today, so it was really good. Really enjoyed that. So thank you very much, everyone. As Cami says, it's the wrestling at 9 p.m. tonight. So 9 p.m. As I say, Hamish was telling me in the comments earlier, so there we go. But as I say, thank you for joining me. As I say, keep me entertained, keep me occupied. It's nice to have you all along. Nice to have everybody on the phones. Thank you for joining me, and we shall speak very, very soon.